I said, I hate cutscenes.
Hi, welcome to the Technical Difficulties Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Smith.
And I'm Blake Ignatius.
No. So I've got Jordan with me today.
Saw, dude.
Jordan's not been on the podcast for a while.
It's been a hot minute.
Since
I started.
sure has.
Yeah.
It's been lockdown since you're on it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've been promoted.
Yeah, absolutely. So, alright, you have...
Blake, you did not just do that. You yell at Arthur for that every single week.
Amazing.
And you want to pull this shit on me.
I can't hear you. I have headphones on.
He says in perfect reply to what you told him.
God damn it.
So you haven't actually been told, but the way that we decide our topic for the session is we flip a coin.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a coin.
Neither.
Or last time we rolled a die.
Okay.
I don't have a die.
Neither.
So we're going to require Blake from off screen to bring us something. Are we just going to...
I was going to rock off.
Alright, here we go. And you completely...
Odds. Oh, we're going to roll.
Yeah, we're going to roll off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright, high or low?
We,
High or low choosers?
High
choosers?
Yeah. 16. I can't see.
We'll call it an at 20. It's an 11.
Oh, damn. I honestly thought I won for a second there.
I really kind of wanted you to win because I really, really ambushed you with that. And I wanted you to come up with a topic off the top of your head.
Welcome to the Flesh and Blood podcast.
No. Hey, Blue, how's it going? I'm on top of the world, thank you.
Wagwan.
Alright, so I do have a topic for today, and
Yep.
it's going to be one that is near and dear to you.
No, it's not. Yeah, continue.
Character creation and
Yep.
coming up with flaws.
As Blake so eloquently put in the explaining your backstory and what we like and don't like about players.
Yes,
In the game.
what should and shouldn't you do?
You shouldn't let the DM decide when your flaw is being reenacted.
Well, my favorite one that you had,
Yep.
which was honestly the absolute worst one.
Yep.
Do you know who I'm talking
werewolf.
about? No.
No. Okay.
Not the werewolf.
Hit me with it.
3.5. When we started playing
Okay. No, can I? Okay. So let's start at the beginning. I didn't know what D&D was. I didn't know concepts of characters. I didn't know how to implement them in a story, anything like that. So I just said to Blake, "Holy shit! I've got the funniest meta idea for a character. Make it work." And so Blake said, "Fuck it, just make it work." It was terrible.
I don't feel like that is entirely Blake's fault. We gave you content, and we said, if you don't know what these things are, feel free to ask us. You don't even have to read the book. And you went,
Nah, fucking.
nah.
I grabbed the book, threw it out the window, and made you explain it to me.
Would you like to tell us what your original character was?
Yeah, bro. My name was Bill from accounting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What else?
I don't
What class were you?
I don't know.
What class were you in the grand scheme then?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you were a sorcerer.
Was I?
I'm pretty sure.
I remember I had a bit of magic. I didn't do it. Hey, Blake, what was I?
You were a sorcerer.
I was a sorcerer.
There you go. I'm right. Okay. So you were a sorcerer.
Yep.
How did you do magic?
I didn't.
Well, how did magic happen?
I got given it by Blake.
Okay,
So the premise of the character was that this world was treated like a video game or like an actual game of Dungeons and Dragons. And I saw it as a game that my kids would play at home. I fell asleep one day and woke up in this world.
Yeah.
I had no concept of time, no concept of the world or anything we're living in. And that's why I called myself Bill from accounting, because my real job at home was an accountant. And so I didn't believe in all this fairy tale magic crap, and I had to just learn about the world of D&D as we went. I thought it would be fucking my God, come on. I thought it would be fucking hilarious as someone that had never played D&D before to learn how to play D&D on the spot with a character who didn't know anything about D&D.
Fair.
So I thought the premise would just be hilarious.
It was at first.
And then it fucking went downhill so quick.
And then we got to episode 2.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
So, basically what Jordan did was he created a character that was a meme, first and foremost, and then tried to continue playing that character. And the way that he did magic was he got himself into an absolute world of shit, and then Blake would have to bail him out by going, okay, so you start to glow, and this thing happens, and it's this spell.
Yes.
And he would go, yeah, that wasn't me. And then he would continue to walk headfirst into the encounter, whatever it was.
Yes.
And it got him killed.
I didn't believe in consequence because I thought it was a video game.
And
so if I died, I would just come back to life.
One of the other characters watched him die and went, you know what? He had it coming.
Fuck that guy.
And then literally just walked on.
It was
and then Blake was like, holy shit, I don't understand how to run this right now.
It was quite funny.
Let's restart.
I actually got brought back from the dead. And I had a conversation with a character, like with an NPC. And he was like, yeah, you can't die. This is actually just like a part of a game. And I was like,
did he?
Actions don't have consequences. Fuck it. That Lucifer guy. He was like, I'll take you back to your real home.
No, that's not what he said at all. That's how you took it.
Yeah.
What he said to you...
Again, I'd never played D&D before.
Yeah, but what he said to you was, you do come from another world.
Yeah.
And if you help me, I'll send you back.
That's right, but I still took it...
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's a video game, I can't die.
That's right, yeah, I just thought I was right. I was
Next minute, we're face-to-face with a Remoraz that's just like, you know, erupted from the ground. And he goes, it's okay, guys, I got this. And walks up to it and ends his turn. And then it's the Remoraz's turn. And it goes, chomp.
I got eaten. Dies. It was actually quite
immediately.
Yeah. Look, to be fair, thank fuck it happened because that was terrible.
Oh
and also sort of got Blake inspired to, well, we're making a new game just to play Fifth Ed instead.
I think it was more because it was just so complicated.
No.
And people like you would have just sat there and gone, I don't want to learn how to play this game.
It was all me. It was all me. I inspired Blake to make Fifth Ed.
You actually did.
So
I knew that you weren't confident enough to play 3.5, so when we jumped on this Fifth Ed, it was making sense.
I'm a literal idiot at D&D.
Could you imagine Caitlin trying to play 5?
How, like, fucking touch.
Oh, man.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Or even Dylan, I don't think they would get it.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. So it's because of me. We're all here. Okay. Just remember that, right? Every time I get yelled at by Blake.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So he's made a couple of extra characters that do very similar things.
Me? Yeah. I always have a crutch in my characters.
But it's not so much a crutch, so much as it's a fatal flaw that eventually leads to the character getting either killed or retired.
Look, to be fair, the werewolf didn't even get retired for that reason.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He got retired because you're like, yeah, this is boring. I don't like doing it because you made your flaw.
No.
Don't do anything.
No. He got retired because I put him in a position where I wasn't getting along with the party. And for the betterment of everyone at the table, so that everyone was having a fun time, that's why I chose to retire.
And why wasn't he getting along with the party, Jordan?
Because I could hide and stealth everywhere. Fuck all of you. Why would
Not
I be
even
involved?
that.
I didn't get involved. I didn't buy into
the group. He would hide and then go, oh, they can't find me. I'm just gonna not help in combat.
Well, that
while
was
we're
also...
fighting his bad guys.
Well, okay. So the other thing too, guys, before we started recording, if we had like an off week, Blake would just walk in and be like, "Battle Royale." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's fight each other."
Yeah, well, there's that too. Yeah.
And so my character had an oath bow, a cloak of invisibility, and boots of spider climbing.
I think we came into these characters at level 11? 10?
I think it was like 9 or 10. No, because at 10 we had the time skip.
Yeah,
we retired at 10. So we were at like 9.
I think we would have come in at 10 because we had a time skip before that and everyone got up to my other character's level, which was 9.
No, because it was before.
Pretty
No,
sure.
it was like
it was like pretty high level. So like he had an oath bow and a cloak of invisibility
and boots of spider climbing. So every time we had a battle royale, because we had a character who utilized a broom in range fighting, we had pillars that would hold the roof up to allow the guy to fly. I said, "No, fuck it. I'll just climb the pillar, be invisible, and cherry pick each one of them off from a distance." And everyone got real mad. Because the game would, like, the combats would go for like 3 hours because they couldn't find me. And if they could find me, they couldn't hit me. And it was just like a big meme. And so it was
annoying.
Everyone got very mad. And so, like, even in the game itself, I wasn't yet buying into the idea of being a team player because I had just finished playing the captain. And I was like, I don't want to be in charge anymore. I want to take a back seat actively. And I think I forced it a bit too hard.
Yeah.
And
that was absolutely the problem.
Yeah. But that's why the character was ultimately retired.
Yeah.
Because he didn't play well with others. He was a bit shit. He 100% had a fatal flaw. But it wasn't the reason he left.
Yeah.
It was something that was going to be built on later, and we just didn't get to it. We got to the point where we were going away for a couple of months, and I was like, fuck it, like, let's just start fresh with a character that people will get along with. They didn't. And just go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so what's your character's flaw for this campaign?
This campaign?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit. Okay, so this character... Wait. Like, how much can I give away on camera?
Well...
Yeah, so I am
the
the hidden son of the king in the area, that people don't know about, and so because of that, I'm treated differently because my race is different to the royal families.
That's your only flaw.
For now,
it's a good flaw.
Yeah,
because you know what it doesn't do? Ostracize you from the party.
Yeah.
And make you an absolute fucking nuisance to everyone in the party because you don't do anything.
Yes. So, honestly, yes. It's hard because, I wanted to give them a strong jumping off point to start the game.
Yeah.
And I needed to have because I think I'm not sure if it's been explained in the podcast. When we first started 3.5, we were rolling for stats.
Yes.
And we were told by Blake, even in the transition to 5th ed, if anyone still had their rolled stats they wanted to keep for a character, you could keep one set.
Yeah.
And I had a set, this set here is, fucked.
It is.
It's it was 318 to 16 and something. It was dumb as fuck.
I think it's 318, 17, 15.
Something like that. It's not fair.
And then like a dump stat, which
Yeah.
is like an 11.
Yeah. It's actually fucked. And so
a bit of backstory there. We rolled, I think it was 6 sets of stats.
Five sets of stats.
5 sets of stats.
And they were your 5 sets for the 5 characters.
For the 5 characters that we would end up playing throughout it. Because less for those 5 characters, it was more so that we didn't have to go through the trouble of rolling stats again
every time
if one of our characters died. We just picked a new set of stats and went, okay, build a character from there, and no one has to be there to watch you rolling, making sure that you're actually doing it properly, and yada 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 yada.
Well, what it also meant too is that if there was an off chance where we wanted to try different classes, especially myself and Jake, who hadn't played. Oh, you played a little bit of D&D. But for someone like myself...
No, I actually played exactly the same as you.
Oh, no, you DM before.
Nope.
No? Not with the other group? I thought you... So you started that after?
That was after.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so
Yep.
us two playing our first, ever instances of D&D, we were like, all right, fuck it. If you want to be able to, look into new classes, you're checking the books, blah, blah, blah. If you really like the look of the Paladin, or if you really like how the Druid looks, or maybe the Cleric's kind of cool, you could look at the roles that you had and think about your stats beforehand before creating the character.
Yeah.
So that way you weren't sort of stuck in a position where
I want to build a character and then you roll and then you don't actually have the
exactly right. That and
stats you need for it.
Again, I was terrible at 3.5. Do you reckon I'm going to know what fucking point buy was? No way in hell. So
point buy made everything so much better.
Oh, it really did. It made it so much easier. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Sorry.
What we
look
do.
at me bringing you back.
That's what we do here on
I fucked up.
Difficulties podcast.
So yeah, we ended up having to. If you wanted to keep one of your roles, you could for 5th ed. It was up to you. So I ended up saying, "Hey Blake, haha, ta-da. I still have those broken rolls. Don't think I'm fucking getting away with this. And so I was like, okay, I need a character that's going to justify having these cracked stats.
Yeah.
And I thought the way it can be role played is like, look, I did a bit of a flair for like being the son of the king, but it was more the fact that he's like a general in a really high rank in an army. There's a reason he's fucked, right?
You're a properly trained.
Exactly right. And I figured it would also give us a really good starting area, jumping off point to move forward from.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
a lot of good that did with the group.
No, but look, right, it did the right thing, but I've just again put a fucking hole into it by like, oh yeah, I'm actually just like the hidden son of the king, and so it's just like now I'm just a lot more serious and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Look, I guess it's. I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, it's like, probably it's a good thing that we had a good jumping off point, but it's hard because it limits what I can do from there.
That's the point
because I've come from a position of power.
But that's kind of the point of it. You can have a fall from grace, or
100%.
you can keep yourself at the state that you
100%.
were. But like that's just character development. You have to put some sort of on your character.
We have to get to that point too for the change, right?
Yes.
We can't go like we have in this session so far, and it's not anyone's fault. It's just happened. We've just derailed, and we've gone from let's solve this massive raid mystery, blah blah blah, to holy shit, we just killed a guard and someone else in the fucking city, and we're gonna try and look like it wasn't us.
Are you sure that's not anyone's fault?
Holy fuck! Like how do I roleplay? Not giving a fuck about that. Like, you know what I mean? Exactly right. Yeah. I do. I care. And that's why I get mad. And so, like, it was a good jumping off point, but we had the worst possible thing happen. And it is what it is.
You started on this track.
Yeah.
And midway part through it, Rob and Arthur have gone, you know what? Let's lift you, spin you this way, and put you back on the track. So now it's not skidding sideways along.
Look, to be fair,
everything
right?
in your path.
Look, to be fair, they made a choice based on what was put in front of them. Okay, so it is what it is. I'm not even saying it's Blake's fault, right?
Man.
Like, like a situation had to be put in place for all of this to go down. We could even say it's my friggin' fault for getting the spicy cough. If I was there that week, it wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Oh man. I just love the position they've put you in, though.
Because
they've not only done it once either. They've done it at least twice now.
And here's the thing.
Big times. So at this point, I don't think you can say it's not their fault.
That's why that's what I'm like. That's why in the game. That's why in the game I looked at Kat and went, you have a backstory and a memory of a city burning, and you've done necromancy and shit.
You can't put that on Kat, though. She is
No, not even that. But I'm like, you've had that situation, and now you're in a raiding, burning village.
Yeah.
And you're trying to tell me you had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Arthur, okay, you're trying to tell me.
Good RP.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. As me, though, trying to I'm like, you realize that it doesn't help your case.
Yeah.
Same with Arthur. I was like, you're trying to tell me you just started an entire fucking forest fire. You charred someone to death. You've killed guards in my town. And you're trying to tell me you didn't raid this village.
So what is your next step then?
It's literally
you're gonna have to save face still, right?
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I am trying to save face. That's why I tried to take Rob to the prison. To be like, okay, you need to be taken in for questioning. I tried to do it with Arthur, didn't play ball. So it is what it is, right? Like I'm trying to look like keep appearances that I'm doing what I have to do for this country, or this town or whatever. You know what I mean? Kingdom. While also looking at them like, fuck, okay, if it wasn't you, how, you understand this looks bad, right? Like, how the fuck do we get through this? So,
I know, that's why I'm enjoying watching it.
And that's why it's funny. And look, if it was anywhere else in the world, I'd be having just as much fun with them. Like, I'd be doing the dumb shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, because it's my fucking hometown,
I
have to give a shit.
You could have gone anywhere and done this.
1,000,000%. You know what I mean?
And had the fun doing it.
Exactly. But no, look, it's, again, we've rolled with what's in front of us.
That being said,
we now just need to move forward with it.
Even despite everything that's happened, I think that the flaw that you've given this character isn't so detrimental to this character that you can't play them anymore.
1,000,000%. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you've really transitioned out of that. All right, I'm gonna give this character something that really like messes up.
The one
like,
the one
things I can
problem
do-
with this character we have
yeah,
is that it's starter town syndrome.
yes,
The second we get off this island,
yes.
that all goes away.
Are you gonna get off the island?
Fuck, you tell me.
I mean,
We're killing people in the town. Let's see if we just live past this town.
I
Let's see
mean,
what
in
happens.
campaign 1, we sure did never get off the island, right?
Yeah, well.
So, are you getting off the island? Is there a plan to get off the island?
Let's find out. I don't know. Like, again, I'm just rolling with the punches. Like, we'll see what happens. So, that's the main one with this recent character. I think I've learned from my mistakes to an extent.
But that's good.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
At first, at the very least.
Yeah.
Your progression from making a character that doesn't know its class, doesn't know what the class can do, never learns how to do what the class can do, and dies.
Yeah.
Into, making an actual good character that I don't think really had an obvious flaw, being Delvin.
Look, Delvin's fault was not having people to fall on.
But that's not really a fault.
But it wasn't a fault because the point of D&D is to have a party.
That's right.
Right?
So
I think the fault in Delvin was he sort of, without their consent, forced the campaign to be a pirate crew.
But that's fine.
And so, you know what I mean?
That's not like...
No, I mean, that's why...
So you went from a character that
I learned
did that, you went into a character that didn't really have an obvious flaw.
Yeah.
Then we went into a character that did the same thing as your very first character and just ostracized yourself from the party.
Like I said, it wasn't the flaw, though, that fucked it up. It was... I think I just... The problem...
Because that's the reason why the party didn't like your character, because you didn't do anything to help us while we were trying to help you. You didn't try and help us in your own storyline.
I understand.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a fair
Yeah.
point. I think,
From there, we went into characters that were evil, or to turn evil.
Yeah.
And
That was
then,
fun. That was fun.
now we're back to where we are.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like in this one,
Okay, so before we get too far ahead, though,
yeah,
I think the weakness of the second character, the second back character, after Delvin, was the fact that I tried to do the exact opposite of Delvin.
you tried to do the exact opposite of Delvin, but you shoehorned yourself into the same place. The very first.
But I created the same problems, is what I'm saying. So because I went from this to being the exact opposite of that to be the exact opposite of that, which is the same as that.
Yeah.
So it was like
Yeah. So
as you can see,
you were playing around with more flaws, but you pigeonholed yourself into the exact same play pattern.
Look, here's the thing too. As a person, I just fucking hate Mary Sue. I hate Mary Sue.
That's fair.
And that's why I try to have like a little something, and then sometimes it's just completely fucking detrimental.
Yeah.
But I I feel like it makes a decent gameplay.
Yeah.
The second character, don't get me wrong, his fault was look, we can actually have explain the main problem with the fault in the character we made for that one, and it was the fact that he was a werewolf. He'd never trained.
Fault though.
It was a fault. He had never turned into a werewolf, so he couldn't utilize half of the stats on his character.
Yeah, that was half a fault actually.
Yeah. And then I told Blake that I didn't want to transform until he gave me an unscripted transformation, and it was almost like learning how to tame the beast, right?
Yeah.
I thought roleplay-wise...
it was initially a forced transformation.
Yeah.
In a combat that he didn't know it was happening.
Yeah. And I thought roleplay-wise, it would be sick. I thought roleplay-wise would be sick. Like, learn how to tame the beast, like, do all this crazy shit, rah, rah. And then it just, like... Before the transformation even had the chance to happen, because I couldn't do half the things I wanted to do, I just sort of reclused because I didn't want to.
You also made up the character to be very shy. So you took the opposite of being a really outspoken and outgoing character as being really reclusive and shy, rather than being someone that doesn't speak a lot.
1,000,000%.
Has a voice but doesn't speak a lot.
1,000,000%. And the reason that happened was because I wanted to grow as a character and become more confident.
Yeah.
After the transformation.
And I will say, I think the character that I'm playing right now is exactly the kind of character that you were going for.
Probably.
The one that doesn't really, like, see the party as a party is kind of, like...
It wasn't even that. It
on
wasn't...
their own, but they stick with it, and then when shit's going wrong, they go, fuck it, I'm peacing out.
Like, I think I tried to...
It's still part of the group.
Kind of. I think I wanted to be, like, that fucking edgy boy in, like, every fucking anime. Where it's like, no, like, you have to, like, you don't understand me, rah, rah, rah. And then, like, when this big thing happens, it's like, okay, well, we can all be friends now, and I trust you guys, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted that, like, big roleplay moment, right?
Yeah.
And it just didn't. Like, I had fucked it before we got the chance to get to it.
Yeah.
And so from there, it was like, you know what? Fuck, it's a wash. Let's just fuck it off. Let's just start again.
Yeah.
And then we made an evil character, and that was fucking great.
Oh,
but even that, like, even that character had a fault.
That one had a fault. It did, but that was a good fault.
Not for me.
Not for your character, but not for your character in regards to the rest of the party.
No. Even just for me, like even like me, like playing wise, it was a fault because my character was relied on. We played twins.
Yes.
And so my character was like the protector who didn't have any magic ability and was like, fuck it. Well, he's really frail. I'll just be his bodyguard. Like, I promised to bring him back safe to be able to do what he has to do. So my character was literally like, kind of like that security guard at like every fucking celebrity's life who like takes them everywhere and
never says a word.
Like, just sits in the background. Yeah. When something goes down, they jump in front of the, no, Mr. President, you know, like that sort of shit. And so, like, Maddie, God bless her soul, Kat, God bless her soul, tried so hard to, like, try and get me involved. And I was just like, you don't understand. This is not the character you want to get involved with.
The thing is that you did actually interact with them still.
I did, but I gave them very, like, sarcastic, like, kind of like, you're not you're not important.
You're not my priority. Yeah.
Like, what happened? Well, I go where he goes. Like, don't try and make me feel better. I'm not going to care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You also started teaching Maddie's character how to sword fight and things in character.
That was Dolan.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she did.
It was on the boat.
Didn't she?
No, it was on the boat. That was Dolan.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but like, it pigeonholed what I could do. That being said, I didn't give a shit. It was fun to have like a bit of a break.
Yes. But that character still had interactions. Is what I feel like was the good part of that flaw. You pigeonholed yourself into playing a certain character, but flaws really should do that. They shouldn't be like, oh, okay, it's like, you know, I'm this kind of a person, and so I will begrudgingly do the thing all the time. Like, if it's that, then it's not really a flaw, is it? You're just kind of gonna argue with the party for, you know, one or two back and forth, and then go, okay, and then go and do it. I mean, and it's like role play, but it's that at that point I feel like it's forced role play. It's not even you getting into the spirit of your character. Whereas what you were doing was, I don't care about all of you. I care about this character. I'll go where this character goes. But if you talk to me, I'm gonna at least talk back to you. I'm gonna if you ask me to do something, I'm gonna tell you no. But then when he says yes, I'm gonna come and help. So it was relying on another character, but you still had that group dynamic
a little bit,
even if it was a very begrudging.
I think a lot of them true though. We're trying to like just get along with the character.
Yeah.
And so I just give them the whole like, no way, that's crazy, cool, bro. Like, oh my god, you come up with such cool ideas. Like, oh my god, and like just keep reading my book and like, don't fucking talk to me. Like, I don't care. So yeah, it just like it still had a flaw. It was a little bit better. Again, like, I go through waves. I make a good character, I make a shit character. I make a good character, I make a shit character. So we're 2 for 2 on good
characters now. I feel like just
the evil character was good.
I think that was still
so 2 for 2.
You're now 2 for 2.
Magnus will be the decider at this point, I think.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, is Magnus. So far, it's still a really good character, a really dynamic character.
Oh, well, the other good one was Delvin. So Delvin and...
Okay, sorry, you're 3 for 4...
3 for 2.
3 for 5.
3 for 5, yeah. So, like...
But it's 2 in a row you've done well now. So we'll see if you end up...
Well, look, to be fair, hey, Blake...
of not fucking your character with your flaw.
Hey, Jacob, okay, No, because we can technically go for 6. So let's get both of you involved in here.
Okay.
Like, start talking to the group, you fucking recluse. So we had a bit of a break between campaign 1, campaign 2. Jacob was actually running the game. He was the digger. What did you think of the druid?
I liked it. You did engage with everyone. You made a really good reclusive character that still voiced your own opinions, but gave yourself an air of like, this isn't my jam.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like you did that one well still.
Okay. Blake, what do you reckon, mate?
Question. If you'd like to know, I'm hearing everything about 10 seconds after you already saying.
Well, then you should take the headphones off.
Well, I'm using it.
He's doing it on
So
purpose.
what do you think, Blake? The character I used in Jacob's the turtle,
The
druid in Jacob's mini sessions.
Yeah. Total Stewie Griffin.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
what'd you reckon? Was he alright? Was he shit?
It was alright. It's the fact that you were inconsistent.
Yeah.
You were very inconsistent in the decisions that you would do. You generally would make decisions that were based off the way you wanted it.
Yeah.
But then the further into the game, more of you fell into the character.
And that, yeah.
But the character...
That's my bad thing for teaching you how to build characters.
Yeah.
But the character was different. Except you gave him a crux, but Jacob didn't take too much offense to that. He made a simple mechanic for it.
Yeah.
I believe that he was fine. It was very different. It wasn't the same as what you usually do.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
You gave a shot trying a different voice. I remember listening to your first voice from Magnus. You haven't done it once.
I forgot the voice.
So, funny fact, I did the same thing with this
Yeah.
character. I had a full voice, which is actually how I recorded the intro that we have.
Yeah.
I recorded it in that voice, and then it was slowed down. Because
Right.
I was just kind of playing around with the voice.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
There was like a throwaway.
I don't even remember the fucking Magnus voice. I couldn't tell you. That's what happened with the druid as well.
Yeah.
I put on a voice, fucking the next week comes around, they're all like, why do you sound like Stewie Griffin? I was like,
Yeah.
I don't fucking
It's
know,
Stewie
man.
Griffin now.
I forgot. And so we just ran with it. So I think, like, as a player, I wanted to learn how to do the voices.
Yeah.
To sort of, like, give it a, something different. Give it a twist.
Yeah.
And then when the other players didn't do it, I was like, oh,
Okay, I guess I'm not.
fuck. I don't want to be that weird, like, theatre kid,
Okay.
So,
So you don't want to be the weird theatre kid.
yeah.
But think of it this way. If you do the voice,
Yeah.
you encourage everyone else to do it.
100%. And I think
So
after the one
someone
session...
has to start it.
I think after the one session, I did it and they didn't, and I was like, oh, we gave it a shot. Fuck it.
Did you do it in the first episode?
You tell me. Hey, Blake. Did I do the Magnus voice in the first session?
No.
No, you didn't.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
So.
Blue Infusion asked a question.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
We've heard examples of bad flaws.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what are a few examples of good flaws?
All right.
Okay, so I was kind of trying to touch on both things there, where I feel like when you made the evil character, your flaw was similar, but it was your execution that made it a good flaw. It's not so much that you can have specifically good and bad flaws. I think it's the way that you...
It's how you play them out.
Go.
100%.
That's
yeah.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So your flaw for your first character was terrible. Through and through. Here is all of the agency of my character to you.
Not knowing what the hell D&D was, I was just like, fuck it, too hard, you can do it for me.
But that's exactly what it was. It was here, take all of my player agency and you do
100%. 100%.
So that's a bad flaw, but not in the case of when you write down your flaw and you're like, I don't want control over this.
Yeah.
I feel like when you made the werewolf, that could have been a really cool flaw.
Yeah.
I think there was two problems with it. First of all, we were already too high level for it. So you didn't get to play the low levels not understanding the character.
Yeah.
Or like the character not understanding themselves.
Yeah.
And then as we start to level up, you learn more and more and more. So you had less time for that development to happen.
Yes.
And then the second thing is that you tried to go too far into I don't want to be the face of the party.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
I think if you played the werewolf in the same way that you played the evil character,
Yeah.
like in the case of I don't want to be the face, it would have worked out a lot better.
And that's in player experience too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like I went from like one character that I really
don't
liked.
understand how the game works.
And let's be real, right? Like I didn't expect Delvin to be killed so quickly.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I didn't like about campaign 1, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
I had actually made this paladin character that we're playing in this campaign to be the character that was after Delvin.
Yes.
And Blake sort of said, "Oh, that's a bit hard to incorporate
coming in
right now. Like, let's have it as a start of a campaign character, so that way we have a place to start." I was like, you know what?
And we can build a world around the character.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So that's when I sort of was put into the oh shit, like I need to make another idea.
Yeah.
I need to make it fucking quick.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of like playing a werewolf. I knew you could play a werewolf, but I didn't know how to go about it because it's like it's got to be in the world. You got to be like bitten, blah, 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 blah. And then they released the Blood Hunter.
Yes.
And then I was like, yo, Blake, what are your thoughts? He's like, yeah, fuck, let's do it.
Sure, let's go. Yeah.
And so that's when I was like, all right, cool, we're going to make a werewolf character. And I was like, how can I make this interesting?
Yes.
And not just be like, I'm a werewolf, rawr.
Right.
And I was like, okay, let's make something cool about it. So that's when I made the flaw about like, you know, it's not a false transformation. Like, I don't know how to do it until it happens the first time.
Yeah.
It's happened once when I was a kid. Hasn't happened since. I've been running away scared.
Yeah. Which is why I think the level thing comes in.
Yeah.
It was in your backstory.
Definitely.
You hadn't done it since you were a kid.
Yeah.
And now you're level 10.
Yeah.
Like, to get to level 10,
yeah,
you need to go through so much shit.
Yeah. And again, that's being as a player not knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it was a good flaw.
I do. I think
the problem was in...
I think the execution was bad.
Yeah, using the wrong levels for the characters.
Yeah.
By that point, we'd had to find a way to slot in this entire story of being, like, you know, chased after to transform, blah, 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 blah. So it gave us too big of a timeline. I had to sort of just think on my feet, and the only thing I could think of was, I don't want to be Delvin. And so it sort of just rotted very quickly.
Yeah.
So it was just wrong, like bad timing on that character.
Yeah.
The third character, the twin, had a good flaw. It was bad for myself, but it was good for the game.
Yeah.
And then Magnus, we'll see. What do you guys?
I'm not part of the party. I'm here to protect someone.
Yeah.
But in order to do that,
but that could have went wrong very quickly.
It could have gone very wrong very easily.
Yeah.
Because it could have been that we didn't create characters together.
Yeah.
And you came into the party with like maybe an NPC that you were trying to protect and like chaperone around.
Yeah.
In which case you wouldn't have had all of the interactions with that character without the DM then having to step in and play essentially a DMPC as part of the main party.
Yeah.
So it really works well if you have two characters played by two people entering together as well.
Well, like, because that character, if I had relied on Blake to be the person I had backed up with and was protecting, it's literally the equivalent of the very first character that I just put into the 2 hard basket in the bucket. Blake, you can do it for me.
That's right.
And that's what would have rotted very quickly.
So you also just need someone else that's comfortable taking over the reins of that as well.
Yeah. So let's rephrase it. I don't think they were bad character flaws. It was just bad execution on character flaws.
Yeah.
And I'm slowly learning how to, you know, get better at them.
Yeah.
Again, like Blake says, stop doing it. Fuck you. I'm not a Mary Sue, so I'm gonna have some like flaws in my character.
Well, we don't want you to stop having a flaw.
Yeah.
So
well, Blake said that last week, so
I'll run through some of my character flaws.
Yeah.
I don't think my first 2 characters had any flaws in 3.5. I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna play a character and let's see what happens.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember 3.5.
Well, that was...
I remember we fought against a person that could turn into a Tarrasque. That was all I remember.
What?
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah.
Shit, okay, I don't remember that.
Yeah. We didn't actually like fight them as a Trask yet, but we.
Okay. No, I do think I know who you're talking about. Anyway, when I first started doing it was my first 5th ed character with Nylia, and her flaw was that she would never turn down someone who was like downtrodden and pushed into the dirt. So if there was someone that came to us needing help and legitimately needed help, wasn't like a king or a lord or a guard captain and like, okay, I need you to do this thing for me, here's a job. It was someone that came to me and said, or like didn't even come to me. Someone that I saw and said, hey, Blake, what's this person's deal? I'm going to go over and have a chat to them. And found out their story, I would help that character.
Well, it's funny you say that because it never really got played out.
It never really did.
Yeah.
It did a couple of times. So, one of the really big ones, which I never got to help the person, was the kid that got stuck in Inner World.
Oh, I just figured it was
because... The one that you fucked over because you're like, no, we're not going there. I'm the captain. We're going this way.
I just figured it was because... I don't know, man. We tried Inner World, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing it again.
Look, at that point in the campaign, every single session, something world-shattering was happening, and so I understand why it happened. But like, yeah, and you kind of like pulled the character away. You're like, this isn't happening. We're not going there. We're not doing it. We don't have time.
It wasn't that. It was we will get there when we get there.
Yeah,
like there was just a bunch of things we had to do, and I was like, we'll get there when we fucking get there.
Yeah. So there was that. There was, I can't remember his name again. The guy in the jail cell. In, like, very early on.
Oh, yeah.
Who...
He had the stick.
Yeah. So, Zach. When we saw him, he looked like he'd been beaten. He was laying there, and he was just... Like, he looked like he was ready to die.
Right.
And that's why I asked him what was going on.
Okay.
When he told me, I went, okay, I'm going to do everything I can to help you.
Right.
When I found out that he was on death row, I told him, I'm going to do everything I can to exonerate you and me.
In the same session, he got fucking killed.
Yeah, he did. Because that was the point. When I said it, he goes, I'm being killed, like, tomorrow.
It's too late for me, champ.
That's what it was. And that's why we went after Father Tomorrow. Because I was like, I don't care if you're not coming with me, I'm going. And it literally dragged the party.
Is that literally why I went for Torin, though? Because I thought we were just looking and said, he's clearly a bad guy.
Well, there was that as well.
Fuck him up,
there was that as well. But I literally said to you all, I'm going after him.
Right. Okay.
If you don't want to come, I'll do it by myself.
Fair enough.
And everyone's like, well, he's a bad guy, so I guess we'll go. And blah, blah. And then
I'm Blake's like, you don't know he's a bad guy? I'm like, we
know he's a bad guy. He's absolutely a bad guy.
Yeah.
So there was that.
Yep.
My current character's flaw is that I am very, very serious all the time. And I have a mission that I'm here to do.
Yep.
And nothing's going to take me away from the mission.
Right.
Which literally nearly had me fight the king.
Just so you all know, Blake's turning around like, what the fuck, you liar, to Jacob right now. So he's going to get involved. Here we go. Hot take from Blake.
You're serious most of the time.
That was the original flaw, was that I'm always going to be. Yeah. So obviously when I start... I also had a voice planned for the character that I never did. But even like Dylan said to me that this character is just really serious. That's like... I'm pretty sure he was asked on an Upkeep episode, like, you know, what do you think of Thandra? And he goes, he's really serious. Which is what I was trying to put across with the character. Yeah. And yeah, I slip up here and there. That's just me playing the game and getting into it and like, haha, this thing's going to be funny and yada yada.
Jacob, I can't help but notice that so far you're just talking yourself up. Let's talk about your bad character.
Well, that's what I was going to go to next. My druid.
Hey.
Yeah.
What was his fault, Jacob?
His fault was very similar to your werewolf.
Yeah.
That, because we built these characters together, right? No, you built yours and then I came in.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and do a very similar thing where I'm not going to be very outspoken. I'm going to let other people in the party make decisions. I'm not going to...
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. But I also made him very shy. and like shine a different way where if someone would turn and ask me a question, I would visibly recoil into myself and go, no, I don't know. God, what?
Okay,
And
so I'm going to give you what I think was the problem.
Okay.
And it was very similar to the other player who isn't playing with us anymore. His very first character.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a druid. And I think it's druid syndrome.
Yeah.
Where everyone goes, I don't know, I just give a fuck about nature. The sun. And so when things happen, they're like, I don't fucking know, I don't care. Like, what about the tree?
Yeah.
So, like, they are passive, like, very, very, very pacifistic by nature. They don't want anything to do with combat. Like, literally, the other player just sat down in the middle of a combat center and went, oh, it's not my fucking enemy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, not his bard. That's the character he wants to make. Fuck, go for it, bro. Like, sometimes that can be funny as fuck. But, like you literally saw that character play out.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, let's make that exact character.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck. Yeah. Now we've got two people who are dragging their feet. It's just, now it's painful.
It did. It 100% did.
Yeah.
So...
But again, that could be played very well.
I plan on revisiting
we
that
just
character.
played it poorly.
I plan on revisiting that.
Okay, so what's the lesson you've learned then? What would you do with that character differently?
I'm not going to be the pacifist, is the difference. So, I do think that I still want to make the character the one that doesn't want to make decisions. Mm-hmm. But, as soon as something comes up, anything at all threatening, I'm going to be the first one into the fray. Rather than waiting for it to happen. So, rather than being really pacifist, I'm going to be really, really, what's the word? I'm going to see something, go, that might be dangerous, and I'm going to go on the offensive.
So question though, because is it still going to be a druid?
Yes.
So, how do you justify then getting involved in battle in like the middle of a city where there's no trees, and you're like, because most druids like, I'm going to fight because it could destroy nature. And
that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything to do with I'm going to save the forest or there's going to be none of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a druid because it's it's the way that I connect with the world, and it's the way that my magic connects with the world.
Yeah.
Which is through the natural elements. Well, but
so a suggestion.
Yeah.
What if you just care the fact that it's life? Like a person could die.
Yeah.
Just like a tree, it's living.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have to die. Don't play lawful stupid.
Well, also the fact that death is a part of life.
It is a part of life, but taking someone's life isn't natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, the fact that someone's going to go up and get their fucking throat slit, you're like, whoa. Or, like, there's going to be someone intentionally start to fucking kerosene fire over, something.
Over a body in the middle of a fire.
Like, burn down a building. You know what I mean? Like, fire's natural, but intentionally starting a fire, not a good thing.
I think that's still too pacifist, though.
Not entirely, but you're like, life is endangered. I'm getting involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's literally, your character is just, remember The Simpsons? Like, don't do what Donnie don't does.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, that's bad.
Yeah.
So you run in and you stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, and they're like, well, what part of the world does that refer with? It's like, it's just life in general, you fucking idiot. Like, don't kill people.
Yeah.
Like, so it kind of like, you learn the lesson of that character by playing the way that Arthur did as the cleric.
As Sol.
And you go, like, don't disrespect the dead. But instead of it, it's just, don't let them die in the fucking first place. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, I think that's
interesting.
That could be a way to play a druid.
Testing.
Yeah.
Without having to be like, the trees!
Yeah.
And because that's
absolutely.
It's the same thing as a paladin, right? Like, the one thing you hate as a fucking paladin, and look, I'm forced to be it right now, where it's like, guys, this is fucking illegal. We shouldn't be doing this shit.
Yeah,
but, like, you'll see, it'll change, I promise. Like, if we get off the fucking island, it's no longer my town. I'm not responsible for it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, we can start playing fun characters that do their thing for the sake of doing their thing. But in the meantime, I'm forced to be that lawful stupid where it's like, that is not just, that is not right. We have to stop that right now. You can't steal, you can't do this, you can't murder people in the middle of the street, blah, 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 blah. Like, That's the part of paladins
Very
we fucking hate.
authoritarian.
And right now, that's what I am, and it sucks because I'm dealt that hand. But it's all about making crutches the right way and finding a way to roleplay it properly and put a way to play it in a positive light.
Yes.
So
you want to play your flaws positively. I think that is a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any other characters lined up with a flaw that you can think of that we could thought project to put a positive spot on in advance, like you have with Idra?
I do, but I already have spoken about
Fuck you.
how we do it.
So before you go into the next topic, a very good question was brought up.
Jacob, you got a tablet right in front of you, man. You need to be fucking reading these questions.
So
I did read it and I was like, nah, Blake's going to say that very soon.
Okay.
the flaws you talk about sound very tied to your backstories. Why not meaningless flaws? For example, doesn't like eating inside, can't stand the sound of chewing. Stuff that is like OCD style.
I stay away from that
Yeah.
because of what I work in,
Okay.
and I don't want to represent anything the wrong way.
Well, it doesn't have to be something
but that's-
in that terms.
Yeah.
But it can
the
be-
examples
it-
given. It
It can be like Jacob and I, where we overanalysis stuff that just doesn't
Yeah.
need to be.
and that's fine. Again, that'll be something
but-
we'll look into later.
that'll be-
Another
people
part to
flaw.
the question
Yeah.
is: would you count these as traits, or would you count them as flaws?
I would count these as flaws.
If your character has to make the decision, it's a flaw.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a choice in it, it's a trait.
Yeah.
If I can choose sometimes that I can let something slide, it's a trait. You're more likely to do it. If it's a flaw, it's detrimental. You need to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, for instance, there's an easier there's flaws that don't actually hurt you that bad.
Yep.
One of them is that you have a massive flaw, and this
We
is
can't see you pointing.
no, you can see me pointing. That's the
Jordan
point.
has a massive flaw.
1 second. This is taped to the ground, so I'm gonna have to do this.
You
Have a massive flaw in Dungeons and Dragons with every single character you play.
I have to be the strongest character in the room.
Nope.
Okay, fuck, I tried.
Name me one time you had a character that actually had a ranged weapon from the start.
The werewolf.
No, you didn't have it from the start.
It was given to him session 1.
Exactly, because you never had
You
one.
didn't say I'm going to play.
You
it.
never have picked ranged. And
I've-
that has always been a big downside about every single character you have played.
Definitely, yeah. You know why?
No.
Because bows fucking suck in D&D.
No, they
They
don't.
really don't.
They really don't.
Every time I've looked at action economy, fucking sucks. I want to keep track of fucking arrows, my guy.
Well-
I don't have to go out and buy new arrows every fucking week.
Just going to say you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
And you know what?
Bows are
But-
not
Oh,
bad.
fucking
I'm gonna.
I will
Here's
stand on that
something.
hill.
If you think about in your current party,
Yeah,
who currently has ranged attacks,
Arthur.
if he uses spell slots,
Yeah, correct.
the only other person
Who else?
is Cat.
That's fine. Do what you want to do. I know
Then
that,
in your
that's also playing to characters, right? I know that Arthur likes to play with magic.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a ranged spell.
Yeah.
In your party, who has a ranged attack?
Myself and Jacob.
Yep. And
I
any of
don't
yours
know
cantrip?
about, Zephyr at all.
Any of yours cantripped?
Yes.
Okay.
60 feet.
I'd like to point out too that my turtle had ranged attacks.
Got him.
Were they weapons or were they spells?
They were spells.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes. What I'm getting at is in your melee classes, in your fighting classes,
100%.
you have never picked
100%.
even
Action
if
economy
it's
wise.
no, but it's not even that.
Yeah.
It's never crossed your mind to go, I'm gonna get a hand crossbow, just in case.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get something small that I can use in case I am fighting a dragon that's deciding to be in the air, and then action economy says you don't have it.
No, I agree. But that's something I'll stand on. I'll die on that fucking. I don't like ranged weapons in melee. I think they're fucking shit.
So
I'm
why
just
do you
not
say
gonna touch it.
action economy?
It's saying
It's reloading. It's making sure I have to have the
There
right
is
ammo
none.
at all times. I don't
if you
like
use a bow, there's no reload time.
Yep.
And if you use a crossbow, it takes a feat and you get extra stuff.
Yeah.
And they do bigger damage than simple melee weapons do.
So again,
And they hit from bigger differences.
So this is actually, if you look at it too, this is one of the first characters that I also haven't dual wielded with.
That's also true.
So
That
every
is correct.
time,
Because I said no.
I'm also able to attack with an off weapon. Right? Bows can't bonus action shoot another fucking arrow.
Yes, no, but
No, you can with hand crossbow.
yeah. And also another thing is as well is that you were going to do wield. Until I pointed out that the 2 weapons you were going to do a wield with, you couldn't.
Correct. So that's all right. I'm okay with it. That's what we're learning as a character.
So right now, your action economy is actually net 0.
And I'll stay like that. Fuck you. Like I said, I'll die on this fucking hill, man.
But no, that's what I'm pointing at. As a flaw,
Yeah.
that is one of a player flaw. And it's not a detrimental flaw.
Yeah.
It is it's a flaw that can actually make you fall into the category of I can't fight this thing, but you can.
Yeah.
It is always that I can't be the strongest in the room because I can't fight everything. Against campaign 1 against the Kraken, you did dick all.
Fuck, I did my best.
And then you watch Rock run across the water and just punch into him. You watch Nylia running across shooting Eldritch Blast from a different distance. You watch Arthur just go fucking...
My favourite part about that Kraken fight and the fact that you did nothing was that there were cannons on that boat.
Yes.
And you didn't fire one.
That is correct.
And you're the pirate.
In my defense,
He doesn't want to do ranged.
And you were the pirate.
in my defense, I forgot there were cannons. There was no cannons on the boat.
I'm pretty sure
There were.
Bang
There
fired
was.
the cannon.
Bang.
That
was
was one made after the fact.
No,
in that fight.
it was in that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he did.
Bang, did you fight that giant cannon that Teferi made you against the Kraken?
There was only one. That's why he used it. I said, okay, you can fucking do that, bro.
No, but then I'm pretty sure he also got on his broom and started flying away.
Yeah. So he left the cannon.
Because it was damaged.
Rob said yes,
flew
and
away.
it wasn't damaged.
Bruh,
He
I
kept
swear.
missing because he wasn't good with it.
There was
Yeah.
a reason. There was a reason I
He
didn't
didn't have
use
the
it.
strength to move it, didn't it? Or something?
No, he was just too small, so he couldn't look over it.
No, I
he got
promise.
disadvantage
I
over it.
promise you, there was a reason I didn't use it.
Did
and
it?
I don't remember what it was.
Ah. I won't tell him.
It's
But
still
if you
funny.
also look at what we're doing at the moment today, Blake, as well, with exceptions to the druid, because I knew it didn't matter. First recorded D&D sessions. I'm actually going out of my comfort zone. I'm playing a half-caster. Smite is making me half-caster.
You have literally casted no spells. You have gone bonus action, use lay on hands, which just says you have a pool of hit points.
I currently,
And
at my level...
Smite is just the Sunblade.
At my level,
Yeah.
at my level, I don't have bonus action spells right now, so leave me alone.
No, you have action spells.
That's right. I'll get to
Blue, you can only draw or store a weapon once, not twice.
Yep.
So in order to do that, you technically could do it like while still holding the bow.
If
Would
you
be able
have,
to stow it and fire.
Yeah.
Because you'd need to use a whole action to make that. But you
unless you have
drop a
the
weapon
2-weapon fighting feat.
and pull one out. You need 2 weapon fighting to do it. Yes.
Yeah, so we're slowly graduating into half-caster. I wanted to play a druid, and I didn't, because I didn't want to fuck up on camera.
It's alright.
So we're getting there.
No, but that's
Because
the point.
when
Is
we
learning
play-
how
when we play-
Arthur's fucked up on camera.
But when we play a caster, that's when I'll start playing ranged spells, blah, 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 blah.
No, but even ranged attacks.
Yeah,
So-
fuck you. I can just hit really hard.
My
Another-
evil caster
Yeah.
had a hand crossbow.
It's like even in
I
my
used it.
Good
But
for you.
even my caster had a crossbow.
Even-
It is very funny.
well,
Well, never had a
for me,
ranged attack.
when I play any like melee class, you watch, I'll either have daggers I can throw or a bow I can shoot.
I'm pretty sure you had that.
Like, I'm not going to change it now just because you called me out. I'm not.
I don't think I can.
But anyway, well, hey, at least it wasn't. At least you're not like Caitlin, who's literally just revisited the same class for a comfort zone.
We're getting
Played it twice.
So we're slowly trying to, again, we're improving his characters. This is our thing, right?
Correct.
We're slowly improving on flaws. Slowly.
Slowly.
We're learning how to put
We're getting
positive.
it.
We're learning how to put
Doing
positive spins on flaws.
Jacob has a big flaw.
He does.
Yep. You.
This one.
No, the other one.
No, you.
No, you.
On me.
Okay, 1 sec.
Listen in, motherfucker.
You can't play a non-caster.
I have played Lancaster.
in our game.
Yep, in 3.5 I played a barbarian.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the campaigns, in every class you have picked as in the main campaigns, they've all been casted.
Okay, that's fair.
To be fair, neither's Arthur.
Casters are more fun.
That is correct.
That's just because what people like, right?
I know.
I like melee classes.
Rob played a full caster.
Rob likes melee classes.
He played
Arthur
a ranger,
caster.
but he never really did any
No,
skills.
no,
He played
no. Actually, Rob can kind of say that otherwise he multi-classed into a full caster.
and didn't do anything.
Yeah, he cast silence.
So, but in saying that though, he made himself a half caster.
You're not wrong.
So he wasn't a full caster.
He took 3 levels in Bard to give himself a magic item.
But that's what I'm saying. Like people have like ways they like to play.
Yeah.
Like, try and make Arthur a fucking fighter, bro. He's gonna hate it.
Yeah, but the one thing I'm about to point out, though,
Yo.
in terms of like a player flaw, Jacob, you aren't big on melee combat.
That's true. I also built the monk while we were doing
I remember that.
that, and I really enjoyed the monk. I just never continued with it.
But when it comes to Nylea, you did have swords.
Yeah.
You did every now and then go into melee, but you always reverted back into the same fighting style.
Yeah.
I
think the reason for that was every time I got into melee, like managed to get there,
you got punished.
I'd make one hit, then someone else would come and hit it, they die, and the next closest thing was 90 foot that way. I'm like, cool, Eldritch Blast.
I think we've also learned that like advantage is a bit broken when you're a fucking melee fighter.
Well, actually, I changed the rules on that.
Still like range to get
Advantage.
Well then fuck it, Blake. You know what? I might fucking make ranged fighter, alright? If you're gonna make the rules more beneficial, then sure, let's do it.
No,
Alright?
but the point is that you guys incorporate, and this is the point that I'm trying to get at, is the way that I've taught the players to make their characters is always to incorporate a bit of themselves into it. That's why I'm saying they're flaws, because in you incorporating yourself, you'd much rather, Jacob, you'd much rather be casting spells and fighting with a blade. Jordan, you'd much rather be swinging something than doing anything else. It's like Rob would much rather be stupid than be smart.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's like
I mean, you tried to play a smart character.
Arthur
and he
wants
was
to
a
be
lone wolf, and nearly didn't join the party.
Yeah, exactly. Arthur wants to like have his character have quirks.
Yeah.
You know, Dylan always wants to be the hero.
Yeah.
These are traits that you always give to your players.
Right, like you little fucks. I know you're all not watching, but some of you are. Alright? From now on, we're doing the exact opposite of what we want to fucking do.
Amazing.
Alright?
I'm just going back to my monk.
Hang on. And when it all goes wrong on camera, it's Blake's fault. No, you know what, Blake? You can fucking play. Alright? The true me out of my comfort zone is the fucking DM.
Yes. How about you tell them about the story that I got you to DM?
You got me to DM?
Remember?
Oh, the battle royale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a battle royale.
I don't remember it. I remember like looking at it and I was like, yep, that's cool.
It went really
Rob
badly.
also said, Matt, I'm going to kill more guards.
Not in this one, you fuck.
That sounds like a very Bane thing to do, though, and I thought we were doing opposites.
Blake, why don't you tell us about the time I had to DM one time? Because I don't remember it.
I do remember that it didn't go well.
Okay.
It's about as much as I remember, though.
Story time. That's about as much as it was. Because I wasn't there. He did it because I wasn't going to be there.
No, you were there.
No, I wasn't. I didn't play.
You didn't play. You were there. You were behind.
I took care of the person that was my future girlfriend because she was drunk.
That's right, but you were there.
I was not there.
You were at the fucking house.
Yeah, I was at the house, but I wasn't physically at the game.
No, there was another one that he did, and you played his character, which was the werewolf. You played his character with the Oathbow.
Yeah, he wasn't there. Jordan wasn't there.
No, in Battle Royale.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Jordan wasn't there.
No? Wasn't he?
No,
Okay.
I've only done once.
I played his character in that fight.
I thought that was the point that he was running it.
No,
No, because like I distinctly remember.
Jacob, you ran that fight
Did I? Why did you play his character then?
because I had a choice and I wanted to use
You
the
wanted to
whole
be like,
cheating of the
"I'll play-"
invisible cloak.
Yeah, I'll play your character better than you can.
But yes, I wasn't there. Like I
You
legitimately,
were present.
I was present in the house, but I wasn't present at the table.
I remember specifically turning around to you and saying, "This is fucked."
That was
you were
it.
behind
That was literally it. I
You
had.
were like, "Are you having fun?"
I-
and I said, "Fuck off."
That was it. But I don't see anything because you remember it was under a tarp.
I remember we had one player who has been playing D&D for a long time who likes to fuck with the rules. Not fuck with the rules, but, take advantage of situations. And decided to cast darkness, and he was the only one that could see through darkness and kill everyone. And Jacob was like, well, fuck you, I have 8 wolves. And it didn't matter.
Was that the one you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or it was spiders. I can't fucking remember. And then,
I remember that one.
And then, dude, that's all I remember. And everyone was like, can you do that? And I was like,
I don't know.
he probably knows his character better than I do. Fuck shit, you can now. And it was fucked. But yeah, I hate it. I fucking don't like running games at all. We've tried it once and it was fun so far, but it was for a different game. And I'll probably do that again. But not for D&D. It's just, I don't know. Especially if we're going into it without me having prior knowledge. I just don't want to even touch it with a 10-foot pole. Yeah.
But this was your idea. Everyone's getting out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'll do it for the meme. One week.
All right, you heard it here first.
When
You
we
can
get
run a session or a one shot.
when we get 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, fuck it. Here you go.
Amazing.
1,000 sub special. I'll fuck up a session.
Amazing.
Yeah, done.
Shit.
Is there anything else you guys would like to add to this topic?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
It was your topic, motherfucker. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
no, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much what I was wanting to talk about.
Okay.
Building flaws into your characters that just go very wrong, and how you could
Blake,
do them right.
this podcast is called Bullying Jordan the Podcast, all right?
Yeah, I had a bad character.
Thank you. No.
I
But
also had one other bad character. Guess what? It was a druid too. You know why that one was bad? I got kidnapped immediately and never played it again.
¿Qué pasa? Which one?
My first character in 3.5.
I don't remember.
I was kidnapped in the first episode, in the first session.
I don't remember.
And the
3.5.
second session, Blake, before it, he's like, hey, they can't save you from where you are. They're not high enough level. I went, cool, I'll make a new character.
You know what that sounds like to me? Sounds like Blake's to blame for a lot of these bad characters. Alright, Blake, pick a topic, my guy.
You're the guest, so you make a
I don't
topic.
want to pick a topic. I'll pick a topic about something that's not D&D related.
God damn it.
You know what?
This is why we don't have him on the show.
Damn straight. That's why it's Bully Jordan. Alright, Blake, come up with a topic, my guy.
He looks like he's about to speak, but he hasn't said anything yet.
I know. I'm just trying to figure it out. I was like in the middle of doing something and he yelled that at me.
To be fair, you didn't have the headphones on this time, so it's alright.
That is true. Okay. 1 second.
Alright, does the chat have
One
anything
second.
they want us to talk about?
Wait 1 second.
Is there anything in the chat?
No, yeah.
Okay. Don't put a big thing over my fucking head, say bullying, you son of a bitch. I can see the fucking screen.
No, you can't.
¿Qué pasa? I love that dead air on the podcast,
All right.
guys.
So here we go.
Don't fucking bully me.
Oh, yeah, you can actually read it. Okay, cool.
Don't bully me.
Alrighty. Okay. Here's a question. Thinking of a question. Do you miss the way the first games were played, or do you prefer the way that D&D is run now?
How so?
In a way that this is episodic and it's where we have to keep to canon, or would you prefer it where it can be crazy and something can happen out of nowhere? where it's to the point where it doesn't have to make sense in the law or anything. It just happens. Would you rather be... do you miss the games where you weren't live streaming?
I'm always going to miss the games we weren't live streaming. We could also play for like 8 hours and then come back the next night and play for another 8 hours.
He's right.
It's fucking awesome.
We did often do that even when we were trying to start keeping to a schedule. We said for the first 5 weeks, we were like, okay, we got to start getting ready to be on a streaming schedule. So we're gonna play for 4 hours.
Fuck off with your nipples, my guy.
And then immediately that session and every session after it, we played, 7-hour sessions. We're like, oh, that didn't go as planned.
Yeah. I'm always gonna miss those early campaigns and the gameplay. It was just, but again, that's also when you look back on things you've done for the first time, fuck, that was the good old days. You think back to examples for us was playing the first God of War on PS2 and playing it 80 fucking times. It was such a great fun game. I wish I could go back and play it all over again and experience it for the first time.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me with the early sessions learning how to play D&D.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the good old days. You know what I mean?
It always will be.
Yeah. I think for the stream, it makes sense. And I'm all for it. It's fine. It's just...
It does, but why would it not be entertaining to just throw something crazy in there?
Because of where we are right now. If we were off island, I wouldn't have to be stuck to reacting a certain way to it.
Very next session, where he's doing something crazy that he doesn't want to be doing.
That's how you ended up with a troll.
Yeah, well,
it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, and another thing is that because you guys are streaming, I feel like you're treating D&D a bit different from the first time you've ever played it. And it's not for the fact of viewership in terms of you want to be make sure that we don't get cancelled.
Yeah, well.
In the future, like we almost did when I said something and put it up, which shall not be spoken about. But more or less,
was that in an episode or was it in
that was in the upkeep?
Oh.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, upkeep number 3 before we edited that.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to find it
now. Yeah.
Footage is lost forever. Sorry, guys.
But no, it's just the way.
That way on his computer.
For instance, you guys should be finished your searching by the time you guys finished your good giant killing. You finished it. You hunted the giant 1 session earlier than I expected.
Oh, okay.
You are still hunting the gnolls. 3 sessions after I expected. I expected you to be finished the gnoll session 3 sessions ago.
So how's continuity in the episodes going,
timeline is still existent. That's fine.
I'm gonna blame the party for that.
Well, you're the one being tasked to do it by the king, so.
And by me being tasked, the party is tasked.
Well,
so technically, it's your fault.
Technically, I've seen you make bad decisions, and also instead of going, "Oh, the answer's right here," you go, "There is no further north." It's like, yes, there is. You decided to ask that.
Well, there you go. That's where the Nolan encampment is, Jordan. Try not to metagame that.
He doesn't have to, because it's literally written on
We've been told last week.
Oh, is it? Okay. I haven't watched last week's episode yet.
I had to make something else up for them to go back.
Amazing. That's railroading at its finest.
We get given
except not even really. Just
so
the answer's already here.
Because there's a running theme where Rob says, "Oh, it's another shopping session." In my head, it goes, "You guys should be level 3 by now and should be doing bigger things than this. You should have already had a big fight by now."
Amazing.
But it is, and you can't put your finger. It's literally your strongest, your weakest link.
No, I'm thumbing up.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Is that it's an everyone decision.
Yeah.
Like you returning back to the town was way off what you're meant to be doing.
The first time or the second time or the third time?
Second and third.
Second was was making sure people came back alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was
fair.
done.
I saw
It was a rescue.
that being
Okay.
like a very...
So if that time, the second time we went back north, if we didn't find bodies that were alive, we would have said, fuck it, let's just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I found bodies. I was like, no, we have to like take care of them. These are my people. We have to make sure they're going to be safe. They're going to have a chance to survive. They're literally underneath a building, fucking making noise to try and live, right?
Yeah.
So,
and like very clearly going to die if you leave them there for any amount of time.
we know we are wanted. We know that they have fucking posters and an assassin guild is coming after us.
Yeah.
We know that it's the doll that we let live in camp session 2 that I couldn't chase after.
Yeah. Hey, you know how you could have solved that?
By killing it in session 2.
He had a ranged weapon.
No, he was...
While he was
No,
running.
he had more health than that. Blake, shut up.
He didn't, did he? If he had a ranged weapon, he absolutely would have taken him down.
The reason it runs away.
So...
Amazing.
Fuck, he's interrupted me. Where am I going with this?
You had to bring people back.
We did. 100% did.
Yeah.
So, and
No, I
then,
understand that.
but Blake's not here. Quick. Even continuity-wise,
Yeah.
we saw an encampment go to the west.
Yes.
So I would have went west before I went north.
That's fair.
Okay?
That's fair.
And they were the ones that were walking with the fucking giant catapult.
Yeah. What direction did the Knoll run off?
South, which would have been to the west. Now it's been retconned that he's up north.
Oh, okay.
So, because
I didn't look that
because I've been
far
paying
into it, so I
attention
couldn't
to
have
all of
actually
that.
told you.
Because that's
You
why
are very good at note
I'm
taking.
trying to take down everything.
Yeah.
And that's why something happens with no, it's like that. I'm like, I fucking swear it's not.
Yeah. No, you are very good at note taking.
I was originally.
No. There's 2 ways to go.
North
So
and
apparently
north.
there's 2 ways to go.
Yes.
North and west.
If you heard what the boys said, they set up. It wasn't the original.
I'm going to read through the fucking episode because I don't remember you saying.
He said up. He said they set up.
Amazing.
I'm going to need to rewatch the session because I don't remember that part. So, yeah, there we go, guys. All right. It's very important that other people in the party also take notes.
Yeah.
You
are very good at taking notes.
I try.
You do. Like all last campaign, we enter a dungeon, or like not even a dungeon. We get into a castle, and he's describing. Okay, so you take a left here, and you walk past 3 doors, and he's like got his little book, and he's drawing the floor. And so
I would write the blueprint out because I'm going to get lost.
yeah.
And then I'd be like, hey, Blake, is this it? He'd be like, oh, fuck, almost. And then I would force him to, like, draw it. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
nice drawing to get. And like, hey, fuck you. And then I'd, like, draw it properly. So
Yeah.
that was, like, half of it was the joke. The other half was, no, I don't want to get lost.
Yeah.
So, like, I do, when things are taken seriously, I do take notes.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, I make sure that I take it and try and do everything properly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't always work. Sometimes things get changed.
Yeah.
You know.
Look, I'm really bad at taking notes. I know that. I'm really bad at it. Like I try to, but I think I've got 4 notes.
We've got to be real, man. It's
from
probably
this whole campaign. Like,
the one fucking thing I do well. You know what I mean? Like in terms of gameplay, whatever. Sure, I make an occasional good character. I'm on like
you're on a good streak.
I'm on a 60% pass rate. So I'm not good with characters. In terms of fighting, I don't have ranged weapons. I'm not very good. But I can fucking take the shit out of some notes.
Okay, going back to that ranged weapon thing, I think there's a reason why you don't choose ranged weapons.
I just don't like them.
No, beyond that. There's a reason why you don't like them.
What's that?
Because the one ranged weapon you were given, the one time you used its special ability.
Yeah, true. Blake, get in here.
So with the character that he had the oath though, he read it and he's like, hey, this is a really cool weapon, but I don't want to use it and then have the enemy get away and then I have disadvantage on all my attacks from then on. So he just didn't use it. And then
that was my quote unquote metagame way of saying if I have to transform, I don't want to be fucked.
Yeah.
And so the one time I used
And
the
then
earth bow,
immediately he goes, all right, cool, all right. This is a foe that
do or
I don't
die.
mind.
My friends are in danger.
It wasn't even that.
But
It
this was
you saw
supposed
your
to
dad, and you're
no,
like,
because I didn't use the earth bow against him. I
Wasn't
transformed the second he walked into the map. So it was actually supposed to be against the guy you
that's
were all
my dad's
fighting.
dudes, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill them all.
This
so I'm
was-
gonna this guy.
And this was supposed to be me setting the olive branch. It's the one time I'm going to start the role play and, like, become part of the group.
And then immediately his dad walks in, he goes,
Fucking
and you start to transform. He's like, motherfucker.
Yeah, look. You know what?
So that's the reason you don't like
You're
rain.
probably also not entirely wrong. I guess so.
So, maybe try again without an oath bow.
Yeah, well, we don't have one now, so that's fine. Yeah. Sorry, what was what were we talking about before that? Oh, fucking this campaign.
It's sidetracking.
Oh yeah,
Very much so. Very much so.
I
enjoy the new campaign. I enjoy doing it episodically. I enjoy, playing the way we're playing. I wish I wasn't the responsible one all the time, but we're getting there.
But I think something else comes down to what I was saying before.
What's
as
that?
well, with how I'm expecting you guys to be at a certain place, but then you're not. One of the biggest reasons, this is a me thing actually, not a you thing.
What's that?
I'm still not used to the story development in a 2-hour to 3-hour time frame.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, you don't want it to feel forced. You don't want to have to be like, okay, well, they have to do this at this episode.
Well, generally, we would play 4 to 5 hour games beforehand.
Not even that. Like, because we're playing shorter sessions,
Yeah.
he's like, okay, so, look, they should have already finished this by 3 sessions in. But because that's essentially, 3 hours lost.
Well, in theory, right? You guys are about to hit episode 10. You guys are about to hit episode 10. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And if you do just the bare minimum math on that, and it is 2 hours a session plus a half an hour break, that means you've played 20 hours.
Yeah.
That's 4 sessions from the first campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly my point. So you're looking at it like, oh yeah, like 3 sessions to finish this little arc that I've started here. That should be fine. And then 2 hours goes by, which is a whole episode. You're like, they haven't made any headway.
Yeah.
Because we get into periods of role play.
Well, the other thing too, right? Like being only a couple of hours long, and especially with the break in the middle, it takes a while for everyone to warm into the session.
Yeah.
It takes a while for us to start playing properly. This is actually what we're doing. Let's fucking do it properly. All the jokes are out aside. Like we all talk shit for half an hour before the stream starts. So it's actually getting ourselves settled in to play properly.
But also
and then by that point, we're on the first break. And you're like, fuck. And then you go to the second half and maybe a little bit more happens.
But I think something else that it does is all through campaign 1, we would just have pretty much every session a period where there was nothing really happening and we just fuck around. But we'd fuck around for 2 hours real time.
Yeah.
And so once we hit that point in the session where something happens, we're like, we'll fuck around here. 2 hours goes by and it's like, okay, well, that's the end of the session. We're like, oh shit, hold on. What do you mean? We were meant to finish up, wrap up here, and then continue with the story a little bit.
Yeah.
So we expect to have that extra hour or 2 where we actually do the mission we're trying to do rather than, kicking a goblin down a hill.
Yeah.
And it just never kind of gets to it.
Very true.
So, yeah, it does make it really hard.
Yeah.
But I think we'll do one of 2 things. We'll either come into cutting down the amount of time we do spend fucking around.
No, it won't. Margaret, no fucking way.
Well, that's why there's 2 options.
That's what we do.
Or we will end up streaming for longer.
Which I don't think we could do either. So
why not?
People start early, that sort of shit. We're sort of handicapped in what we can do.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to get through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes things will just take a little bit longer than expected. It is what it is. We'll just move forward with it.
Yeah, you guys are handicapped, and also the reason is because we now, since campaign 1, a lot of us just have different styles of jobs.
Yes.
Which are more physical than ever.
Yeah.
And it's like the reason why I try and end it, because back in the day, Kat wasn't working.
Yeah.
And now she's working. Some days comes on Wednesday. She started at 7:30 and finished at 7:30.
Yeah.
And then she comes
And
straight
starts at
here.
7 the next morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like with Dylan, he'll start at like 5 in the morning, and then he'll get home, but he's still been awake for so long. For me, it's pretty fine. I'm so used to the lifestyle that I had prior to actually set me up to be up that late, even though I start work way earlier than I used to. For me, it's still fine. Your lifestyle hasn't really changed, Jordan. Your lifestyle became more consistent with work.
It has.
You
but
work
I also,
every day,
I also
and you
wake
work
up
in the
at 7
sun.
and I finish at 5.
Yeah.
Like,
And
same thing.
even Rob's lifestyle has changed now.
Yeah.
You notice that he doesn't fall asleep in the seat anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
also
I
because we
have
threatened to
to
fucking
notice
hurt him
that.
if he does. Love you, Rob. That's
But
why
yeah,
he's next to me at the table.
and then yeah, when it comes to that stuff, but it's more or less if you compare from when we started to now, we got more on a schedule, and now it's even like more of a tighter schedule than it ever was. There's some days where I just think, I go, is there ever a possibility these two groups could meld into one group in case like one or two players stopped playing?
Yeah.
And it's so hard to understand that and figure it out. Because it's like, let's say for Dylan could never do a weekday.
Yeah.
He just physically couldn't. And so that's why he could never move from Friday.
Well, like, for me, it'd be easy enough. I'd just be going back to the old schedule.
Yeah.
So,
But in
Did
saying
that.
that, I could never
Wow.
go to a weekend.
Yeah.
that's right.
Well, originally I was supposed to be part of the Friday group.
Yeah, originally.
And then I sort of had a talk with my fiance, and
Yeah.
it wasn't going to work,
No.
you know. So that's why I said,
That's why the
guys,
easiest person to
we're
move
going back to Wednesday.
was Jacob.
Yeah, definitely.
And but yeah, so that's what it is. It's more or less I hold I don't have enough information yet to understand where you're actually meant to be in my head to a session. A lot of that is a bit of back and forth. You guys are kind of falling into the same trap you had prior, where it's the same thing with Volan.
Go back to the same place.
Go back.
to the place.
Because again, you guys found the clue, and you never fully pursued it. You went back, and then some weird decisions were made, which were fine because they became very high information weird decisions. Because they did that, they saw this.
Yep.
And it's not because I planted it there, because, as I said, the bad guys are always moving. Your enemy's always moving. So they're never waiting for you. So it is beneficial into what happens. But it's more or less because the night where you said you got sick and you couldn't play, and there was only 2 players, which that night turned out different.
Yeah.
That was actually a mirror to when you guys actually
It really was.
played a full night. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the week after, which is just a full mirror of what happened with them, happened with you.
Yeah.
And so that I don't count those sessions in my calculation when it comes up. But yeah, as I said, you guys finished it a full session early with the giant.
Yeah.
And you guys, in my brain, from when I originally had it, you finished it 3 sessions late because I expected you.
Well, we haven't finished it. We're potentially going to.
Yeah, because I expected you guys to be finished with this on episode 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I expected you guys to be finished with it on episodes.
And that's how you guys know it's not script, right? Because Blake could be calling us to the sidelines in the break of the session, like, "Yo, hurry the fuck up!" You know, he doesn't do that.
No,
We fuck off. We talk shit. We have a smoke. We drink.
Well, you know it's not scripted because my group spent the entire session last session in the bar chatting shit and just fucking around.
it was quite funny.
It was. Oh my god! I wanted to hit my head on the table.
It was really funny. I got to try a new voice that I wanted to try, which was the half mouthing.
Yep.
which I had never really done before. And I was like, okay, well, we'll get to see how it's done. Like, I looked at Jacob, not you, but the other Jacob. I looked him in the eyes because he's a tiefling, and I just came up with the question, were you dropped?
Oh, you straight up just asked him that. He's like,
And
what? No,
else is
oh
dead.
my god!
And
Everyone was just losing their mind.
he had a smile on his face.
He did, but
And he's like,
confused.
he was
I don't know
like,
how to respond to
oh,
this.
what? And then he turns around and goes, are you bruised? And he's like, no, but I got punched. And he's like, sorry. He's like, by a giant. It broke my shoulder. Like, he was
so
like,
stunned, though.
Yeah.
The moment the question come down, the other three of us are just like, holy shit, this just happened. Oh my god. He's just like,
Yeah.
but
yeah. He played it off really well, but
because
my god, I could
in
see it
that
on his face.
session,
He's like, what the fuck is
in
that?
the last session for you, actually, I expected you to already have finished the fight. I expected, because you knew what happened, you knew go investigate, which you did, but then go back, plan, skip, fight.
We just never did the skip.
No, and which was fine because
It was fine.
it became roleplay content because D&D is a role-playing game.
Yeah.
It has combat in
You
it.
can't just skip everything because it's been going on too long.
No, it's
If
one
the
of those
players
things.
at the table are having fun, you're playing D&D right.
It's one of those things where like anyone could go back, grab clips from that, and then like do an animated sketch over.
Yeah.
And they could do that.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. It gave me a full session to understand what I was doing, and it also gave me a full session to go, how am I going to make this troll sound? And then the moment I did that screech, I'm like, let's see if I can do this sound, because I had never tried it, I'd never done it, and I did it.
It was pretty good.
Thank you. It was.
You did that over...
Yeah, it was painful.
It sounded painful.
The knolls aren't as painful as this thing. Because at least with the knolls, it's just like
You'll
a
have to watch
high
the episode.
pitch.
So
It's
you'll have to get up
it's
to
a
date.
high pitch like a ha type thing. Where this one was like a gutter roll, loud pitching, and it's like using all my vocal cords to do it.
Yeah.
And that whole session, I'm just literally sitting there going, yeah, I can't inhale.
Don't make me do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did it 3 times.
Okay.
No, but before then, I'm like,
He's probably going to have to do it again next session.
yeah, no, and I've got it down.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of that session was, I'm like, okay. That's why it got to a point where I wasn't talking much, because I was just warming up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, you didn't need to be talking. We were talking amongst ourselves, and we weren't
you weren't.
going to our NPCs and asking questions. We just started talking amongst ourselves and role-playing and
I actually have
having
a
a time.
question for the two of you, actually.
Yes.
When last session, and so I'm recapping this because you'll know what I'll be talking about, but Jordan doesn't know. 1 second. You don't know what's happened. So in that session, Dylan, you all found out that fire hurts this thing.
Yes.
And Dylan and Maddie had an idea that you tell everyone in town.
Yes.
So they could defend themselves.
Yeah.
And then Derek started speaking. And they went to him. For some reason, they keep going to him, thinking that he's the guy who controls everyone in town, even though he said it plenty of times, I'm
That
not.
he's not.
I'm someone who just lives here.
Yeah.
And they said, go tell everyone fireworks. And then he turned around and shut the idea down with an hard and honest truth about it, saying that you're going to tell, if I go tell everyone, you're going to kill more people than you think you're going to save. Because if I tell them that fire hurts, and let's say it goes in, grabs one of the parent, and the father or the son thinks that they can defeat it because of fire, and they walk out and they're just going to die. Like, do you think turning down players' ideas and explaining how not stupid, but how counterproductive they can actually be is a bad thing?
No. I don't think it's
I'd appreciate it if you do it to me in this session.
amazing.
Because we're 3 episodes behind, apparently.
No, but
I don't think it's a bad thing, and I have a very good reason for it. Because let's be honest, when we play this game, we turn into 5-year-olds. If you throw a puzzle at a group of people playing D&D, they will have no idea what's going on. You can put the puzzle in front of them and our brains just go, okay, I'm 3 years old. How... The square goes in the square. The circle goes in the square.
Yeah.
And then it's literally exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So you kind of get an idea and you go, oh, that'll work. We should do that. But if you were watching the session, you'd look at them and go, no. But it's because you're sitting there at the table, you've had this idea, and you go, okay, I put the pieces together, and this is why this is a good idea. It's more that you've thought you're putting together pieces that don't actually go together.
Yeah.
So it's the DM then saying, okay, guys, hold on. We may want to rethink this. If you do it, fair enough, but I've given you a little bit of warning.
Yeah. It's the whole, are you sure you want to do it?
Yeah, that's 100% what it is.
But yeah, just shutting players down. In my game, I definitely have fun characters that you can have a long time with. But one thing that a lot of people haven't gotten used to when they did start playing the games with me, and this is a lot of people that don't play the games with us anymore, is understand that there are very few characters in my world that are just generally happy. And that will... yeah, definitely, I'm going to help you guys.
Yeah.
Like, they'll find a lot of people that just outright look at you and go, are you stupid?
Yeah.
Like, in the session with you guys, when they met the shopkeeper, and he's like, how much? And he's like, oh, you're a dead man, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, he goes, are you stupid? Like, why would you be doing this?
Why would you fight it?
Yeah. You know, you'll get some of the bartenders that really enjoy you. And then you'll get some of the things where Maddie's like, ding, 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 ding. And then he goes, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, I believe that that's a thing that needs to be, because, yeah, fantasy exists, but, and people go, oh, that's a very dark style of world. And it's like, no, it's just kind of like a thing.
The world that we're living in right now is a very dark world.
True.
After everything that's happened and the state of the division in the world, it is a very dark place to be living.
When you're right. No, that is a good point, because I think that's also like built on the fact that we're also like shit, we're on camera, we have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay? We've been warned prior that this world is darker than what you did last time. Mm-hmm. There are consequences for your actions, and sometimes shit ain't gonna fly.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck, okay, we need to act serious because it is a darker, serious world. So...
But you don't have to. It's...
oh, no, I know. I've got two people in my party that don't. I understand. But that's the mindset moving in at the start. Because it even took them a couple sessions to realize, oh, fuck this. Let's have some fun. You know what I mean? So...
But I was just saying about how the NPCs aren't just like what you find in every campaign. Like,
it's not the guy that goes, hi, welcome to Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talks through the fucking truck.
Yeah. Or the guy who's just like, oh, customers, hi, how can I help you? It's more of like,
what do you want?
What are you buying?
Yeah.
Like, you're in here.
Come in, get what you want, get out.
Yeah. Or where, because it's conflicting, there's races that are conflicting right now. Like, you're both on neutral planes.
Yeah.
Until you're not.
Yeah.
And then that's where it becomes hard and difficult. It's exactly... the best example I have from campaign 1 is when you actually went to Tamir the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys tried to enter South Tamir. And you couldn't.
Yeah.
Because the king was just killed.
Yeah.
And compared to every other place where you just got let in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe there's always... You always get those... I believe there always should be those NPCs that bring people back down to earth type thing. Yeah, because I've had characters go, why doesn't this character like me, you know? I say these smart-assy things and this person just turns around and just puts them down. It's like, you don't realize the way...
smart-assy things.
Yeah, exactly. In one of my games, I had a character that shot like a fire blast he looked at her and goes, "Oh, what can you do?" And then she just did firebolt in his face, and it was a tiefling, so he did take a bit of damage, and he looked, smiled, and goes, "You're dumb, because I asked you what can you do, not show me what you can do."
Mm.
And then
But there are a lot of people in this world that would do exactly that.
Mm.
Oh, well, what can you do then? And like hit you in the face. You're like, whoa, why would you do that? I asked you what you can do. Like, kind of makes sense that they would do that if they're that kind of person, though.
yeah,
So-
no, exactly.
And that's just trying to add an air of realism to the game that you're playing. Like, yes, it's a fantasy game, but not everything has to be all hunky dory all the time. You don't.
Definitely.
You need differences in the NPCs that live in the world.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you're playing a simulation.
Yeah.
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 So another thing as well. This is a call out to Jordan. So when we were doing our this is a question actually.
Yeah. Hit me up.
When we were doing our a test campaign.
Yeah.
Where we were just testing 3 sessions, you do it, you either pass it or you don't, and you get to test everything. In that session, you were going, all right, guys, just add some guidance towards your attacks. Add some flair to how you would do it. And then in that session, you're like, I'm gonna grab my hammer by both ends and give it an upswing and down, and then you kind of directed and told a story with the way that you were using your weapon.
Why haven't I done it since?
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Because I come straight here from work and don't think about what I'm doing beforehand.
Okay.
So if I have that reminder before we start playing, I 100% will do it.
Yeah, it's because
We sort of fall into old habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
because you were so excited for it and you're telling everyone. I think the only person that does is in your group anyway is Arthur.
Mm.
Arthur's very vocal about how his attacks are performed, and in your group it's all of you.
I've done it sometimes. Like even the fight with the bunch of gnolls after the quick time behind the building. I even said we've missed. All right, fuck. We're just gonna throw it back at him. We're gonna try again. It gets a bit hard to describe swinging a hammer in different ways, multiple times.
No, but it could be instead I'm gonna go up with it in
Definitely. Yeah, no, I understand.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's just you don't have to do it every time. But it was the idea that you threw out that you never followed through with, and it doesn't mean you have to do it every time. I'll always catch it up, and I'll always explain how.
See, I feel like I've done it a fair bit.
No.
Well, when haven't I in this campaign?
If you'd like, I can clip it. I can clip every single one.
Fucking please.
That exists. I can make a
That is funny.
compilation.
I know in that battle, I think towards the end I was just like, "Fuck, I'm just gonna fucking hit him with a hammer." But I think a lot of it I have sort of described what I'm doing. That being said, we haven't had a combat. Kat and I haven't had a combat since then. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That is true.
So I think I've been fairly consistent. We'll see. I don't know.
So yeah, that was just something that's been on my mind for ages.
No, that's fair enough. And look, again, if you notice that, dude, in the break, call me out on it.
Oh no, it's fine. You do
No,
what you want to do.
because that's something I want to do. But like I said, I think.
Well, I don't want to.
It's something you need to get more used to doing. I feel like once you get
You're not used to it. You're in a habit, and we're falling back to old habits.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've mentioned that's something I want to do, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Remind me. It could be something I've just forgotten about.
Because there's
Hey Jordan, don't you remember you're supposed to do that thing?
Yeah,
Thanks.
because you were talking about before we started getting more creative with combat.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's also that creative as well. It's for instance, because you're holding a two-handed weapon and it's a hammer, you could always just attempt to grapple with the hammer, pulling against them, using it as a bar to choke them.
Yep.
And why someone else can do attacks and whatnot.
Okay, so I'll answer that straight away.
Yeah.
This is the first, with exception to the bodyguard, this is the first strength character I've played.
Okay.
I don't think to do that because I'm used to being the quick, agile, get around the map.
Yeah.
I'm not playing that.
I could tell when you
I
went
need
to
to
chase.
remember to sort of.
I could tell when you went to chase the.
Yeah.
the null.
Yeah.
Could part of it be that you're afraid of, like, okay, so I'm gonna swing my hammer like this at this part of them and make it sound like a cool shot, and so you're like, oh, what if...
No, because even when I explain how I swing it, it's fine.
Okay.
In reference to, like, holding them up and stuff, I don't think of that because I don't play strength characters.
Yeah.
It'll be something that I'll obviously have to just, like, think about and, like, come up with a more, like, creative way to do things. You know what I mean? Like, that's just something I haven't thought of yet.
Because your character's strength is 18, right?
Yes.
It's something cracked, yeah.
Yeah, well, you just, in general, have a mean punch.
Yeah.
So it's just like all of that. I think what another thing too that I've found with a problem with combat, and that's why I love QuickTime so much, is that it's so linear that everyone always there's literally...
We go for a bit.
It's thinking inside the box, which is literally the box is what's on your page in that little text that says what your attacks can do.
The best
thing
we've ever done in every campaign, and I would love to do it again, even with how shit my character would be at it right now, is the one stealth mission we did in Everest World. But we haven't been put in a position yet where we can do that, and it's what I'm hoping we could do with the Nolan campaign.
Well, you've been explained 2 ways to do it.
Which is why I mentioned to the guys, like why I asked the kid, where's the best place we can go to not be seen, to traverse through. Like, I've been actively thinking it. And trying to find a way to implement it.
But there was, and you are right about, you are so new to your characters still. Because, like, for instance, Dylan. There was one way that if he did this, that giant fight would have been even shorter. He never smited on his natural.
You smite, my guys.
Crits.
Yeah.
On his automatic crits, he never smited.
Yeah.
I think he was just so excited for the
plan to work.
I'm so smart. Let's do it.
Well, so we come up with a plan, and it was okay. We're gonna go and blind the giant, and he.
I've been filming.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, so it has to be me. Like, we've already talked about this. We're getting the second sword, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna do it. He gets up to it. You're like, all right, you're gonna need to roll for this. He's like, oh shit, I didn't think I have to roll. Rolls it, and like meets the AC. So it's now crit is how we ruled it. If he didn't meet it, he would hit it, but he wouldn't crit it. So, and he's like, oh my god, I've actually met its AC as well. It's gonna be a critical hit. Oh my god, this is working. This is so good. Roll that. And like that's where he was going with it. He was so excited that it worked that he didn't think, oh my god, it worked. Now I can do the really cool thing and add even more dice on top of this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it's also you guys are falling in the same habit as you've had before. And this is where Jacob has actually pointed this out because he has now felt into a party which this exists in.
Yep.
Your group never plans.
100%. Yeah.
Jacob's come into a group where they plan.
Again, like a lot of and that's the story we're in right now.
Yeah.
We haven't had a fight that's been on our terms. You know what I mean? We saw the gnolls with the catapult from a distance. They would see us. It's too obvious to try and fight and pray for the best. We didn't do that. So it's always been, we've been ambushed, or we had the raided village at the very start of the campaign, or I was caught in a QuickTime event in a building with gnolls on top of us, and then there was more behind us. Yeah. We haven't really had a position to be like, okay guys, how are we going to do this? And like I said, that's something that I want to implement.
But there's kind of ways that you, for instance, one of the things I find that you guys did that night when you knew they were behind the town.
Yep.
The tower, right?
Yep.
So you got ambushed, you killed them. You knew they were behind the tower. Problem number one, Rob ran straight around that corner.
That's Rob's character.
Instead of somebody going, let's go back into town, we know where all the nooks and crannies are.
Yeah.
That's
Rob.
Something else that I think I've noticed between the two groups is that in this group, because we do the scouting mission beforehand, we see what the thing we're fighting is, and then we plan.
Yeah.
So what happened with the giant was we were told, okay, it comes at night, and this is the one place that hasn't been hit yet. So we went, okay, we're going to go to it, and we're going to stand, 200 feet out, and we're going to wait for it, and we're going to let it hit this last farm.
Yeah.
We're going to let it do it so we can see it, see what it is, see how big it is, see how strong it is. And then we're going to follow it. And then I think it helped that my character has the Necklace of Fine Familiar, because I could then, after we tracked it to where it was, and we saw that there's this building here, well, we don't want to go into the building if there's a giant there, but I can send a familiar in and see it.
Well, there's a...
And go, okay, this is the exact spot where it is.
Well, the thing is, too, is, I'm not saying that it's 100% a bad thing.
No. And that's why I'm not taking offense.
Because,
we haven't had the chance yet to get those hints of this is where you
go,
this is where you check.
Not just that, like when I say you've fallen into a habit, it's like that was your first campaign as well.
Well, that's what kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah.
In our first campaign,
But that's why I said one of my favorite fights was the stealth mission. That was so fucking sick.
In our first campaign, we had a lot of ambush scenarios.
Yeah.
Or it would be sort of like what's happening with the troll right now, where it would just enter and it's there and we're like, okay, we've got to do something now. And so we fall back onto, I know what you can do and I know your play pattern. I know what you can do and I know your play pattern. I know what you can do and your play pattern. Now let's go out and put all that into practice.
But I think what I'm referring to is, for instance, you like that assassination. It's also like the other assassination. With Cat.
Yeah.
That one. And then there was but then there was the one where you were dead for this. This was and you were unconscious. You never saw this. You physically did see this. Yeah. It was not the cave. The dungeon, the castle.
It looks like a cave.
What do you mean?
They were scared at the front, throwing rocks down the hallway.
Yeah.
It was a cave.
They knew it was full of goblins. And they're like, let's throw some rocks.
Yeah.
I do not know what went through their brain.
I had no impact on that. So, I was not allowed to talk. I was impartial.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that, from what I've heard of it, because I wasn't there for it, it wasn't recorded, so I didn't see it. I think what their plan there was that they had a plan, and it was, okay, if we throw something in the hallway and they hear it, they're going to come and investigate it, and so now they fight on our terms because they come around the corner.
Keep in mind,
so they come around the corner and we go, okay, we send all the spells, we fire arrows, someone will run in and...
But also another thing is they had no idea they were on their way. So them sneaking in was their own terms as well.
Yeah.
Keep in mind too, the session before that, we attempted a stealth mission.
Yeah.
And it turned into Sid saying, fuck it, Leroy Jenkins dropping a fucking fireball. And it just... Everything went tits up.
It wasn't even. It wasn't only that too. It was like
another character role shit.
It was the no. It wasn't even that. It was the fact that the paladin and the barbarian also just went running in.
That's what I'm saying. It was they rolled shit stealth and they just said fuck it. Ran in. So I think they again. I didn't play that. I don't have a set.
Yeah, I know.
But I think they just. It was like fuck it. We tried this last time. It didn't work.
But
let's be extra fucking careful.
Yeah. But I think there was an element of planning there. It just wasn't thought through to the point where they go, okay, well, we know that there's things in here. We're at a corner. Why don't we just go to the corner and look around the corner? They took it way too far and went, let's try and get the thing that might not be around the corner to come out to us. So before they knew there was something,
that was also the first time you used Fog of War on a battlefield.
I really did.
So I think they
it was the first and only time. Because
we also did Fog of War on during the pandemic, so that might be where
yeah, no, but I thought there was another one in the campaign too.
No.
Regardless, anyway.
No, there's always been me building as you're going.
But that's when you did it,
but
and I think they shit their pants because you're like, hey, you're all here. A character just died. You're trying a rescue mission. This is their home base. You can't see it. Have fun. They're like, fuck, there's a dragon in here. You know what I mean? Like, and look, to be fair, there was a fucking beholder in there. But it's like, it wasn't, like, they knew something bad was coming. They didn't know when or where or how to approach it.
Yeah.
So they were too careful from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I was bringing that up too, and the reason why I'm saying it's not a bad thing, is because if you watch both campaigns side by side,
Yep.
you understand there is 100% of duality going on.
Yeah.
You guys get approached by a guard to be arrested. You willfully get arrested.
Yeah.
We have a guard approach, and I said, "Fuck it, take his head off."
You killed him.
Again, I wasn't responsible. I wasn't there.
So you guys get ambushed by things, and you lose.
Yeah.
You guys get ambushed, and you win. Then it comes to another duality of you guys plan and think of everything. You guys don't. You guys are a team.
Yeah.
You guys have discovered that dynamic, and you're up to the point of trusting and full talking about everything.
Yeah.
You guys don't yet. Cat just opened up to use.
I think we're
You both
hard
have
because-
you both have amnesia people on.
we've learnt to like our from campaign 1. We've almost learnt to be reactionary.
Yeah.
We wait for something to happen. We fix the problem.
But I think that's kind
We
of what it
don't-
was. So like we always had something arrive, and so we
Yeah.
go out and deal with it.
We're not proactive in what we do
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And that's something we have to work on. That's something we can fix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once we know the problem, we can address it.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about it
Yeah.
until now. So yeah, it's something we can definitely work on.
Because it has been brought up to the whole even old Wednesday group,
Yeah.
but it was always kind of brought up as a joke.
It was like, fuck off.
Like,
We know
hey
our
guys,
niche. It's too late to change it.
But like it was, hey guys, do you realize that you've never planned any kind of fight? The other group, they did this and they did that and they planned it in this way and this and that. We're like, yeah, but like it ran around the corner, so we hit it until it died. Like it was already around the corner.
Tag,
What are we
lovable
playing?
group of idiots that doesn't let anything walk away.
Literally, like, and that's how we ended up playing.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it sort of became happenstance at a point, and every encounter that we did have walked around the corner and went, "Fuck that!" and we hit it until dead.
A lot of times too, and look, it's the role of the DM to do it sometimes,
Yeah.
but we sort of put Blake in a position where he had to do it all the time,
Yeah.
where we would wait for something to happen,
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
and then Blake said, "Nah, fuck this. All right, this is happening," and we're like, "Oh, okay, cool, let's go do it."
Yeah.
So like we became too reactionary that when we got given the choice, we're like, "Oh fuck," and that's when Rob goes, "It's a shopping session."
Yeah.
And we're like, it's not. We just need to fucking pull our finger out and choose to do something.
Literally, that's your current sessions now.
100%.
It is like he calls roleplay sessions shopping sessions,
Yeah.
and I think he just got that off Smokey because of that whole argument they had when they did 2 sessions in the city. And it's just because like they were information gathering and shopping at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, if you're already in the city, you may as well widen your information gathering, right?
yeah, you
Figure out
feel
what
too.
other stores are here and let's have a look at what they got. Like,
Yeah.
while we're
And
here.
it wasn't a small city; like it was a major
Yeah.
city. So there's a lot of shops and a lot of different things.
And like even our group's done that. We're like we get into the city.
To be
and we're
fair,
like, okay,
though,
we have to
it's-
figure out about this thing.
But it's also
You're
what
like,
you're
yeah, we'll
supposed
pass
to
the
do.
blacksmith.
A lot of times you're traveling. When you get to a city, you need to stock up. You need to refuel.
That's right.
But
There's going to be eventually, as much as we don't want it to happen, it's a power game, right?
Yeah.
When you're at a higher level, you're going to get access to more powerful shit.
Yeah.
So when we go to a new town, guess what? We're going to check to see if there's better weapons.
Yeah.
We're going to check to see if there's better armor.
Yeah.
At this point, it's up to Blake to say, you know what, fuck you. There's a normal copper sword. Do you want it? And we're
Yeah.
like, fuck that.
But well, that's the thing as well. It's you guys finally bought stuff, like powerful stuff.
Again, I didn't.
No, but something got bought for you,
Yeah.
Me either.
and you haven't read it yet.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm asleep in my room.
Yeah. Well, Arthur read it, and he wishes he kept it because it is very powerful.
He's more than welcome to.
No.
Is it a paladin thing?
No, it
He's
is
more than welcome
no,
to.
but he enjoys what he got.
Yeah.
So out of the 2, he prefers the one he bought for himself anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
No, I was saying he kept them both.
But-
It's fine. I like.
he if for information that you might not know, he found artwork
yes.
that's
yeah,
worth a lot
I-
of money. That I did a Pawn Stars reference for it.
Amazing.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy. Let me get him down here. And
That's amazing. Did you also do the cutaway to something else happening really quickly and then be like, okay,
No.
and now the guy's here
No,
looking at the artwork?
No. I time skipped it.
No. Okay.
But
Well,
he
close
came
enough
in.
then.
He told him about like the origins of things and all that stuff. And the whole purpose of that was little like tidbit and lore wise, there was something dropped in there that might come up later.
Okay.
Like that's what I do with like a lot of things.
And for the record, I didn't write it down because I wasn't there. So if you didn't take notes, your own fault.
Yeah. Or you can just watch the episode back if you're ever curious.
Don't give them help.
No. But anyway,
They won't do it. It's fine.
yeah. But when it comes to like those sessions, the role play sessions, they need to exist.
Yeah,
Otherwise, how do you have your bang moments?
100%.
Like he calls them shopping sessions, but deep down, we know he loves them.
he does.
Yeah.
He never would have been kicked down the hill in a barrel, and then we had to fight the barrel again.
So hi there, we got a new first time chatter. Cosme Purge. I do not know how to say that, so I'm sorry if I butchered it.
Hey, welcome.
So you say
What's
hi. Question: what would be a good name for a dexterity-based melee weapon that does slashing damage, that is a reforged from a brass pendulum with within an old and broken grandfather clock? Bloody Redox is number 1. Number 2, Times Vanquisher. Number 3, Clockwork's Ode, and number 4, Tomb of the Timekeeper.
So they want us to pick between those 4 names?
Yeah, is that what you want to
Right.
know?
So my question then is, what kind of rarity is this weapon? Because if it's got a name, it's going to have to do something more than just being a dexterity-based melee weapon, right? Because this thing's essentially a flail that does slashing damage, as far as I can see.
Or is it dexterity that does slashing? So is it kind of like or can it be kind of like a glaive?
Well, it's because it's the pendulum. So like
Oh, is it the
thing that
when I
goes
think of
back to
pendulum, I think of like the weapon style ones from like Dark Souls.
kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But like because it's
Keep in mind, guys,
Yeah.
they've also said it's reforged. They just changed the
Yeah.
weapon to a
So
so that part, you're looking at the wrong part.
yeah.
However, are you wanting us to pick from the 4 names? Did you want us to give us our own input? We need to know a little bit more information too. Is it an artifact? Is it like a really powerful weapon?
It's not a weapon. Not a weapon yet. It's going to be reforged into one.
Okay.
And my name is Brown.
I was about to bring that up.
Cosmic. Yeah,
Cosmic
Cosmic.
Verge.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't have glasses.
So we need to. So we're picking out of the 4 names something that we like. Sorry, Blake, I don't have the chat in front of me. Can you read them out one more time for me?
Jacob, go.
Bloody Redux, Times Vanquisher, Clockwork's Ode, or Tomb of the Timekeeper.
Tomb of the Timekeeper sounds like a campaign. I wouldn't roll with that.
Tomb of Annihilation.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the what is the weapon planning to be forged into, or that has yet to be decided? Because there's multiple ways you do it. You do one with like the chain, like it's at the end of a chain, and you
Yes,
swing it
that's-
around where it
that's
touches.
Yeah.
Or no, I mean like a whip style chain.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, you got the flail style.
Yeah.
You got a morning star type
Yeah.
style where it's just like the
Morning
surface,
Star,
you
that's
know?
one thing. The Flail's the one without the
You've got,
chain, right?
I think you got to reply.
Morning Star.
Yeah. People mess up my name all the time, yet decide to prefer. Yeah. Preferably a bladed.
Tonfa.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Bladed Tonfa.
Sorry, guys. Remember, I'm not very massively experienced in D&D. I'm still learning. I just use hammers. I've just progressed from normal swords to hammers.
A tonfa is like a baton.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Like this.
I just got over it. Yeah,
Oh, that's actually fucking sick. Oh my god. Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Blake, we're using those next campaign.
Next campaign,
They
use it now.
they currently exist in the world. They're weapons.
Yeah, but I just have to give you advance because I also say I want to play a.
Or you can just kind of look for them.
No, I use
There's
hammers.
nothing-
No, I
no.
use hammers now.
You won't do it, you're scared.
I've grown up.
If you'd
I'm a big
like to
boy.
know,
I've gone from sharp, pointy things to big, heavy, blunt things.
if that's a question that I'm gonna have Yeah, it's also the weapons they use in Mortal Kombat.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's answer the question first before we move on to this topic. So, Jacob, I don't like the last one they said. What were the other three? Sorry.
Bloody Redux, Time's Vanquisher, and Clockwork's Ode. I think I like
Bloody Redux.
It
Bloody
sounds
Redux.
like a name rather than like a title.
Bloody Redux. Yep, definitely.
I think it sounds more like a name than a title. So, I like Bloody Redux.
As much as I love the other two, I feel like they got a little bit of edge to them. Sometimes we don't need that. So, Bloody Redux for sure.
Yeah.
In the two groups I play in, my character uses bladed tonfas as reflavored rapiers. I do
That's
1d8.
Fucking sick.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, they are really good. If you want to get better understandings of what they actually do in dice form, there is a in the player's handbook for 3.5, they would be under exotic weapons, and they use just ignore the crit range, and they're pretty much interchangeable into fifth edition.
No, thank you. Is it Cosmic?
Cosmic.
Yeah,
Cosmic. My God, you've just inspired me for more sharp weapons. Thank you very much.
What character
It's
is Bloody?
when I no longer use ranged weapons for my next character and Blake gets angry, you're the reason why. Thank you very much.
So what character do you want to use them with?
I've got a character I like at the moment. We're getting there.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything because
That's fair.
Well,
That's fair.
on the topic of weapons.
Yep.
Now, that would be your character's flaw in like
I
your
think we're
current
gonna
ones.
stick to it.
Yes,
Yep.
it's the fact that you refuse to use a different style weapon, and it's weird because well, it's not weird. It is something nice that kind of gathers is that you in my world have made it like a fact that the people of Tyr use hammers.
Yes.
Like,
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so my last character dual wielded.
yeah.
I had to then make use of light finesse weapons.
Mm-hmm.
The rapiers were just the best light finesse weapons.
Scimitars.
Scimitar, sorry, that's what I used. I realized very quickly in the game that a lot of special items and cool shit are fucking swords. And it annoys me to no end. So I said, fuck it, not using swords, we're just going to use some good old-fashioned hammers.
And then I created all my magical. I spent all of like.
No, that's right, but I
That's
wanted to,
like
but I wanted you to make, you know,
Something
you were
unique
talking
that was
about
different,
making
I
custom
guess.
homebrew weapons and equipment, not even just weapons, items, everything. I wanted to be like, all right, cool, let's take advantage of this, man. I'm sick of the Holy Avenger being a fucking sword every time. Let's get a badass hammer.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Soul had one. Fuck you. I want, you know what I mean? Like, I want a cool hammer. I like now I'm gonna want to have these fucking mad shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's actually.
I'm inspired
really,
now. Let's do it.
That's
Like, fuck
actually
yeah.
really interesting as well. You did just give us a lot of scimitars in that first campaign.
Oh, the characters
Because
just used them.
no,
The
no,
characters
to
every-
the point where
Everyone
my
just uses
packed
them.
weapon was a scimitar, despite the fact that warlocks are not proficient in scimitars.
Yeah, I made you.
Your
But-
packed weapon could change at will, and you chose it. For
No,
a
no,
reason.
it's-
No,
it's
not that one.
Oh,
the one
okay,
I was
okay.
given from
improved. Yes, but
Yeah.
when you attune to one to be it, you can't change that.
Right. Still,
Yeah.
but even when you had improved, you chose 9 times out of 10
No, I didn't.
just for it to be a sword.
No, I just used random shit all the time.
Loading test user said did it first.
Did what first?
The hammer.
Oh, yep.
Good for you, bro. Like, I'm happy. Like, we need to have someone needs to get a hold of fucking wizards and be like, yo, dude, stop making exotic fucking swords.
For instance, there's I can't remember. I think I called it like the shadow fell or something like that. It's a hammer that you use your bonus action to activate, and you have to do it. You have to use your bonus action every round to activate this ability. So this sound kind of balances it out. And the way it works is that when before you make an attack roll,
Yeah.
roll your like the person you're attacking against has to roll a insight check. DC, I think it was like 15. If they fail the insight check, what happens is they don't see it coming, and you get to roll with advantage. It's all flavor.
Yeah.
which you could possibly break somehow in terms of outside of combat. Inside of combat, it doesn't really break it.
Well, you just go crit fishing. You use it on like a
if you listen, what it's
like
going to do is that you are swinging it. Oh no, a hexblade has to like be proficient with it.
You know what I mean, though.
But
you can get.
So let me finish what it is. Yeah. So the whole purpose of it is that you swing the hammer. Because you activated it, if they fail the inside check, they don't see it coming. The hammer actually teleports out of your hand and goes behind them and smacks them from behind. And then it reappears back in your hand. Yeah. The whole purpose of it is it's a lot like a what do you call it?
Like a feint.
It's like a feint, but with flair.
Yeah.
It's meant to be like a weapon that teleports out of your hand with the same momentum.
Yeah. But you do remember as well, I've mentioned it many times in this campaign. He goes, is there anything else that you like to do, Jordan? I go, I have nothing to do with my bonus action. I pass the turn. Don't give me that weapon.
No, but the thing is, it only works for one attack.
I understand that.
Yeah, so even when you do, you get your extra
attack.
Once
per turn, I just get free advantage because I can't use the bonus action for anything else.
But another thing too is you wouldn't be able to smite with it.
Didn't say that.
Huh?
You didn't say that.
No, it leaves your hand.
Well, then every other attack after it gets smite anyway. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
But so one attack for free gets advantage.
What does that mean? It doesn't count as a melee weapon attack then?
It counts as just like a the dancing sword.
Pretty sure that's still a melee weapon attack.
Yeah, but you can't smite through the dancing sword.
No, that's because it makes an attack.
Well, it makes the attack.
That's not what you said. You said you make an attack with advantage.
Huh? Well, yeah, you roll the dice with advantage if they fail.
But yeah,
I don't have the weapon right in front of me.
We're punching at straws. Anyway,
I'm just messing with you, bro.
Loading test user. No, you're not.
What?
Okay, so do we get any more information about? We like the fact that these blades are really fucking cool. I like them a lot.
Yes.
Oh yeah, here I didn't even read it. Sorry about that. I use a Tabaxi Ranger / Druid in one group. Tonfa plus a buckler, which is like a buckler shield.
Yep.
And then in the other group, I use a Tabaxi Ranger Rogue that dual wields them. You really like Tabaxis in those.
You lost me at Tabaxi. I'm allergic to cats.
That's not a joke. He really is.
No, he really is. We had him feeding. I had him feeding my cat when we went away, and he straight up nearly had allergic reactions every time we went there.
Yeah.
But he powered through. He's a good guy.
I try my best.
So I'm curious, how much does the buckler in your game give you in armor class, Cosmic Purge? Because in my games, the way I've designed it, because it's technically not a real 5th edition item.
It's a flat +1.
I make it a flat +1.
Because actual shields give you a +2. You can move it properly, cover more of an area.
Okay, so that's interesting. Because if you look at how bucklers were historically used, they were just as useful as a shield.
But same thing. It's smaller.
Yeah.
So it's you have to be very precise with how you hit. Right. So it's gonna be less of a armor class.
I don't like that Fifth Ed doesn't have more different shields.
Yeah, 3.5 has a crap ton.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be implemented.
Yeah, but it would be so.
We've been saying that 5th Ed's really old now.
It is.
It is, but we're still getting new shit.
But it would be so easy for them to go, okay, here's some extra shields. Buckler +1, and you can also have a weapon in the same hand. Tower shield +3, but in order to, but it's like a heavy item.
You have to have strength.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you do it still a +2, which is perfectly fine. What that basically says is that you don't have to work out different style of math, especially the DM doesn't have to go, oh, you got a shield. It's
really,
+1 or is it +2? So yeah.
A sword in the same hand.
Your character's name, is that the first one or the second one or both? Because Lucifer McPurr is your character's name.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done. You're done. DONE. Done.
That's both of them. Are they meant to be is it the same character being in you're testing it out in 2 different ways, or is it meant to be
Mate, you won me over with these sick weapons, but now you need to quit while you're ahead.
What do you mean?
I'm allergic to cats. The names are bad.
The
Sorry.
name
The
isn't
name's a
bad.
pun.
The name's a pun.
I just can't do it.
It's Devil Kitty.
Can't do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
One's Lucifer, one's Serenade. So it's not the same name. Unless the last name is McPurr.
Are they both McPurr? Please tell me that. 'Cause
Maybe.
I love that.
Maybe.
Okay, so yeah, we picked hammers specifically so Blake would make cool hammers. That's why I always use a certain type of weapon each game because I like the way it works on theme. Blah,
Yeah, it's
blah.
like the dual sabers.
I dual sabers. It was cool.
No, I'm saying like a dual saber.
Oh yeah.
Like
Like a dual-wielded a dual-sided lightsaber.
You give me two sunblades attached.
no, it's
I
not
will
a sunblade, but
lose
it
my
is
shit.
double-ended swords. So there's double-ended axes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, well, like I said, I'll progress to that. I wanted to do something different. That was something easy and cool that I could work with and move with.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Damn.
Had the stat blocks. It worked on theme because that whole country is now like the higher up they use hammers instead of swords. I just wanted to find a way to make it cool, make it different, you know?
That's fair.
Maybe if I was from, we haven't really spoken much about the world, but we do know that we were given last session that it wasn't Hyax, it was the other one.
Zykin.
Is a bit more savage lands type.
It is very savage.
That's what I'm saying. So hey, fuck it. I might have a character that's from Zykin, and he might have this fucking crazy, like type of exotic weapon.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Well,
Like the tooth whip.
what was it? Yeah. Cosmic Purge's characters are both different. The only similarity is the race and the weapon of choice.
Yeah.
And one's a male, one's a female, so
Okay.
it goes around.
Yeah,
But they're both not McPurr.
Cats.
And also what the last tabaxi you played with did.
I want to climb it.
Everyone dies.
I'm just allergic to cats. I don't like cats. I just
Yeah.
Oh, you like my cat.
Yeah, she's cute from a distance. Don't kill me.
Man, what were you talking about?
Man,
Weapons.
this
Why
is
I
just
only
the-
use a certain weapon each campaign.
No, it wasn't that.
This is just the podcast.
Tan-
No,
Tangent.
but literally the
What were we
last
talking about?
literal thing. Like
God, I don't know. We got distracted.
before I jumped in on
Yeah,
it.
no, you took a shot at me with weapons. That's what it was.
No,
Yeah, I think it was
no.
weapons.
Literally just before I read that statement from
We're
Cosmic
talking
Purge.
about shields.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
We're still just talking about like items in D&D.
okay. Yeah, about cool weapons and savage lands. Zykin.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll make a character with a fucking sick exotic weapon if I'm from
So you will get past the world where most enemies you fight just don't use normal
Cool.
normal weapons.
Fucking
If you
bring it on.
notice that you actually haven't had a fight with someone that uses a sword, they've used hand axes
Spears.
and spears,
Yeah.
and they have used bows, but it just hasn't been your traditional swords.
Hey, they've had hand crossbows.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not.
they had a hand crossbow. That's how Cat picked up hers after the fact.
She got it from an assassin.
No, the other one. There was one of them dead. They had a fucking ranged weapon.
Oh no, he's right.
Oh, at the very start, yeah.
No, behind the
No,
building.
no.
After
Yeah,
the
behind
after
the
the
building.
Was
quick
it?
time.
When she was
Yeah.
hiding behind the rock or the tree or whatever it was. Afterwards,
There was one using a ranged weapon. I'm pretty sure it was a crossbow.
I
Oh,
think it was, yeah.
wow, because
Because they ended up picking up the crossbow. but-
Sure, I don't remember shit about the fucking campaign. Let's go.
I think.
That's Oge.
yeah, they got the assassin's crossbow,
No.
and then Rob gave it to Kat. and then-
Noel used it.
No, actually, no. Here's the thing. Rob gave Kat crossbow bolts, and then Kat turns around and goes, "Oh, I use a bow. I don't have a crossbow." Because Kat only uses a bow.
Again, because we got it when we were fighting the Knolls. Because the Knolls had one. Because we had us.
I don't have a crossbow mini.
You made it up then. Because we had the two here. We had 2 or 3 fighting with us. We had one doing a dance with those two. And there was always one behind.
With a bow.
Sure, ranged weapon is what I'm getting at. It's a normal weapon people use.
Yeah, it's a bow that Rob tried to give her a bow, and she's like, "I've already got one." The
You would
only
just-
crossbow that has existed so far in your campaign has been the assassin.
Okay, but you said people don't use like these ranged weapons and swords and spears. Bah, they used a fucking bow. What do you mean? Someone used one. It's common.
I mean, in the grand scheme, one enemy using it,
Right.
and all of the
It
things
mattered.
you fought.
It mattered. It
Oh,
was the
no.
reason. It was the reason I didn't move for a whole turn, potentially having Arthur die,
Amazing.
because I had to make sure of the ranged attack.
But
I
what
was
I'm-
also low.
If it makes you feel any better, Cosmic said that they made the second one in memory of their cat that they had to put down.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that I hope you feel bad now.
I don't. I'm just saying I'll allow it.
Okay.
It's pretty much.
I'm
as
not-
good as spaghetti.
I'm
That
not
is
being a
that
dick
is
about it.
very adorable. Jacob can relate to that.
I can. I had to put down one of my cats a little while ago now, but I get it. It's hard.
So
Yeah, we're going to Zyken. We're gonna fight people with cool weapons. I'm excited. Fucking.
oh,
If you start using those fucking sick blade things, I don't know name it. If you start using those before I get the chance to do it, I'm gonna be very upset.
you don't want to go to Zyken.
Can't wait.
Now he wants to go to Zyken more.
But since Jordan's here, I can update him on the thing that I updated Jacob on, and it can be said here on the podcast first,
Michelle had people say.
live to everybody. So we're starting a new program soon called Wednesday vs. Friday. And the first... He's got a limpo where he's already been defeated.
Every single one of you already know that Wednesday group's better. We don't need to do it. It's a wash. It's a wash.
Yeah, wait until he hears how
God,
this has to
I
go
hope
down.
they couldn't hear that because the microphone's all the way back here.
So, here's a small little knowledge teaser about what the first episode will be, and it will take place on the 28th of every month.
That's oddly fucking specific.
Because
It'll
there's
be
20...
uploaded the 22nd.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was like,
he said it
you
weird
just
when he
told me
as
Dylan
well.
can't do
No, no, no,
weekdays.
no.
It'll
Yeah.
fall every time. I was like, oh, what?
It's the reason why it's uploaded on the 28th of every month is because every month at least has 28 days.
We've got a month to do it.
Holy
too.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
right,
yeah, so the first one is trivia.
Wednesday group, best group, bring it on.
No, but the thing is, it'll be one player randomly picked through straws, the short straws thing. They'll sit down, and I'm in the midst of buying the hot sauces.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to have it with wings. And the way this will work is that the three players of so for instance, let's say you got it and you're sitting in that chair. The three players that aren't sitting next to
Have to eat the
you.
hot sauce instead.
No.
I don't know.
Have to write questions to ask you about the current campaign. For instance, it can be the more specific they get with the question, the more loose the answer is allowed to be.
Yeah.
Is the way I put it. But the more broad and easy the question is, the more specific you have to be with the answer. And I'm the one who determines yes or no on that specifics. So, for instance, it's like this. When you had your first fight during episode 1, what was the first spell Gale casted? You have a minute to have an
That's
answer.
not fair because I intentionally didn't pay attention.
No.
because I wasn't
But
going to.
you are. I'm like if you're getting
Beforehand.
you guys will get a warning beforehand that this is coming up, and it's trivia about the episodes.
Okay.
So you're allowed to go back and just look at neat things about it,
Gotcha.
what you think it will be, because and then for you guys,
Yeah.
the three people in your party will be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you'll be understanding questions to ask, and there were some we stumped the Friday group with,
Yeah.
and
Like,
Maddie.
what was the first spell I cast? And
Friends.
No.
actually,
Yes,
right,
it was.
everyone got
It was
wrong.
Friends. Yeah.
I forgot I cast.
Wednesday group, best group, go fuck yourself.
Well, too bad because it's always asked about your own set.
No, go fuck yourself. they get it wrong, I get a steal. That's how that works.
And the way it's going to work is that there are 10 sources. It goes from hot to like
Crazy.
Yeah.
But every question you get right knocks out the hottest one.
Right.
But every question you get wrong. So that's going to be question. So we'll go question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you get
Kind of like
wrong.
supposed to be a
Yeah.
But if you get all 10 wrong, you get the worst, the hottest
Yeah.
one. But if you get only one wrong, you only get the normal one.
Yeah.
But
I know it's
fun.
supposed to be us being better than them and getting them right, but I can't wait to intentionally stump Kat to just make her do it.
no, you don't get to pick.
Amazing.
You don't get it is random. If Kat gets it, she
That's why it's funny. That's what I'm saying. Like,
But I kind of also want to have the both of us sitting there so we can just look at each other, purposely answer the question wrong and be like,
but there will be some twists that because it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You have 3 special things you can do. So there will be a lifeline. So that way you do have a chance not to have the hottest one.
yeah.
But there's always going to be there's another one called the handicap,
Okay.
which is that I haven't really worked it out fully, but I'm pretty sure it's like the handicap is going to be if you get this one wrong, you actually go up a source instead.
right, okay.
I don't think I called it handicap. I think it was like
Double or nothing.
add to punishment,
Sure.
which you get to do once.
Sure.
So let's say they got all.
Have we got more comments? Sorry, I feel
Oh
like
my
we're getting
God.
away from us.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly complex. Oh my god. So Cosmic is currently playing a character that is 2-in-1, uses a special amulet to swap between 2 forms, one being a half-elf warp domain cleric, and the other is a drow fighter.
I'm not smart enough to do that.
Oh my god.
I thought you were Tabaxi. You lied to me.
Look, clearly they play more D&D than we do, and that's impressive.
You lied to me.
You blunder against me. We really like Star Wars here, guys.
We really do.
Yeah, you can reflavor lifelines called death saving throws. I do like that.
There you go.
Or it was like a crit. If you get this answer right, it means that you get to skip the next question.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Like knock off 2 of the hottest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the sound of that, making them very D&D themed. So yeah. So that's something coming up, and it's also going to be, as I said, a monthly thing. It might be Wednesday versus Friday at Super Smash Brothers.
Does it start this month?
Yes.
June or July?
July. Not June.
I was very excited.
Otherwise, it gets uploaded tomorrow.
I was very excited.
And also, my birthday's coming up, so
It is.
yeah. So so you guys get a bit of time to get ready, and I get a bit of time to order this thing
Right.
because shipping stuff overseas. Otherwise, I have to go look for stuff.
Yeah.
And then
For the record, you know the answer to the first spell Arthur used? Like Gale used?
I mean, not off the top of my head.
Okay. Because I don't remember if he used any in combat.
Oh no, I did. It was
But,
Thorn
he used-
Whip.
It was Thorn Whip?
Thorn Whip was
That
the
would have been
first
my
one.
guess.
Yeah.
I would have also said maybe control water when he tried to put out the fire.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure if he used a spell in combat because I intentionally didn't listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what was
For
it?
the record, guys, I had a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. But that's kind of how they're going to be.
Yeah.
It's not like, what is the first thing I ever said to this character?
Yeah.
They can't be, if they're that specific, you can say a greeting. You know, that type of stuff.
Wow. You're finally awake.
But yes, it all depends. And the way you go about it is when the timer starts, the minute starts, you just turn to me and go, how loose does this question have to be? Like this answer has to be, and I tell you.
Why don't you just say at the start, I need a serious, like I need a specific answer for this one, and timer's on.
No, well, I was thinking about like categorizing it into easy, medium, hard.
Right.
Where
I mean, like, I would assume that we're gonna show you the questions beforehand, right?
Yes, correct. Because I need to make sure they are actual real questions and valid. Compared to like that's impossible. If I can answer it, like even loosely, that's how I'm gonna base it. Is how I can answer it.
But at that point, you can literally do what he's saying and say, "Yeah, okay, this one's gonna need."
That's how I was gonna. No, but that's how I was gonna grade it.
But rather than you saying fine, why don't we say is you need a specific answer?
No. Like that's why I'm gonna say. Well, no, that's not what I'm gonna do. As I said, pretty much what I'm gonna do is have like basically it's like you have green, yellow, and red. All right, 3 colors. When the question's getting asked, I'm pretty much, if they're flat on the table, I'm gonna have the like, if it's easy and you don't need if it's hard and you don't need a specific question, like a specific answer, I'm gonna put the green up. And that way you can see that when you look at me, green is up. That means that you don't need a full big answer.
I feel like it's just adding extra steps.
No, because I might forget.
That also means you have to remember that green doesn't mean it's an easy question. Green's go.
Oh no, I'm literally gonna have the word easy. Like
elaborate. Don't elaborate.
Yeah. It's pretty much gonna be like minimal answer, an actual try, or you need the full fucking very specific. So like there's gonna be not specific, very specific.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I can hold a fucking paddle pop if you want. A lollipop.
Do it.
As long as you're on camera and you do it, fucking go for gold.
It was Wash Thorn, wasn't it?
Was Thorn.
But then, so that's how that's going to be. Also, we have changed the way the upkeep works. And for those who don't know, the upkeep is an interview show that we do after we film our D&D sessions. We have changed it to the point where they answer questions that have happened about the session, but they have a discussion about what they think about, and honestly what actually goes through their mind as a player, not as a character.
So initially it was actually a one-on-one interview, one character with the DM.
Yeah.
Kind of like in a format that Jacob and I are sitting in now. Blake would ask us questions about that session. We would elaborate, tell him what we think, and go from there. So we changed it instead to being 2 players, so we can elaborate a little bit more. We can give our thoughts on that session in particular, theories, blah, 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 blah.
We can also just have a conversation between us about...
Definitely. And Blake doesn't have to feel worried about giving something away.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be cool.
Yeah.
Cosmic has added onto that the 2 characters. They currently have a special greatsword that gets the killing blow on enemies, it gains blood charges. Once it has 10 blood charges, it's got a special ability that can be activated. No information yet on what the special ability is.
I thought Flicker Delta.
Sure
I thought you said Flicker Dicker. Don't ask me why. That's a lot like a Oh no, it's not. I'm just putting.
I guess it stops you murder hoboing with a certain weapon, so that's kind of cool.
What do you mean stops? Whenever you get the killing blow, man. If that ability is good enough, you just go find some murder hobo.
I'm sure it's not necessarily a good thing though. You know what I mean? That would be a really cool weapon to implement if your characters are like just murder hoboing everyone. Yeah. Okay, you can do it, but shit, like, you know, when you get that 10th charge...
I guess it depends on whether or not they're fighting a lot of hordes, though.
Well, that's the thing,
too. So just, you know...
But in saying that, it also means you have to have a second weapon as a backup.
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, shit, we're fighting a horde. Let's pull out this weapon instead, so I don't, you know, fucking potentially kill
That's a good question. In your personal opinions, and also you give examples to it, do you prefer to fight one enemy or a horde?
Okay, so my first character had a spell that was waiting for you to pit us against a horde, and I never got to use it because we never fought a horde.
You guys did fight hordes.
We fought maximum of like 4 enemies.
One horde was removed by a mass fireball.
Yeah, I wasn't there
very quickly.
I wasn't there.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like that was like the big horde we sort of fought.
So I'll tell you when I get to fight.
What about the goblins on the ships?
The what?
When you were with Arcus, you had to reclaim one of the ships, the Black Dragon ship, and there was heaps of goblins on it.
I don't remember this, and I get the feeling that they all just went down in like 2 rounds, and so there was no.
Oh no, it was a big
opportunity.
fight. There was like 30 goblins.
I also do not remember that fight.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys were on the cruise.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
cool.
they did.
There you go. So I still haven't done one, so I'll tell you when I've done a horde fight.
Okay. So you're the only one who's done a horde so far.
We did do a horde fight.
Yeah.
When myself and Arthur stepped out of the portal, and I killed like 3 of the enemies, and then Arthur goes, I'm going to use the 7th level spell slot to kill everything in this room, which is like, CR1 creatures. I was like, oh, okay, right. Let's go.
I don't mind. I kind of like the intensity in fighting a one-on-one. Because like it takes me back to that time when we were in the Colosseum doing the fight. And we had like 1v1s in the middle there. I think that was really cool. But I also enjoy it like.
Well, you're currently doing horde fights.
We are, and when you do it, it's like a power gamer thing. You know what I mean? Like I can just cling through these fuckers like they're nothing. Like I'm really strong. It's cool. I guess it just both of them had their merits. I don't mind. Like I'm pretty good with both.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
I enjoyed fighting that big tough one that ended up running away.
Yeah.
Like it's just depends on the character.
That's part of a horde.
Yeah.
Well, there's always like the one bigger one.
The minions and the boss.
But like, I also practically 1v1'd it.
Yeah.
Until it ran.
No, I'm saying but
You also have rolled stats. I would assume you'd be able to.
Pretty godly.
Yeah. When it comes to that stuff, the reason why I didn't do many hordes, I did a massive horde once. It was like over 40 enemies, and literally the sorcerer at the time did the whole 300 strategy and was like, okay, here's a massive acid splash bloody move that's going to fall on people. It's almost like a fireball in itself, and there were still waves coming, and it's like, okay, that spell's different. His telekinesis, I'm going to literally pick up part of the broken billy that's just happened and lob it.
Yeah.
Like they were doing that. And
Which campaign was that?
this was campaign 1. This just wasn't your group.
Oh, okay.
This was the original Saturday group.
Gotcha.
Dylan was in there. He got shot with a cannonball when he was in the middle of
Amazing.
losing his V card.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. So in that, what happened was the horde attacked, and they weren't ready for it. They one of them kind of was, because they knew something was going to happen. They just knew it.
Yeah.
From what happened in the tavern scene. He's like, gonna go for a walk in through the city. And then the other 2 were drinking Daristrix, which is Jacob L, and Morpheus, which was Dylan. They were drinking, and then that whole tavern, because of the way Daristrix and Morpheus drunk, pissed off this one dude, came back with a cannon and an army, because he was going to do it, because this town, they were beating him off for money, pretty much. They were like, well, we control this town. They pay us to protect them, type thing, like a mafia style. And so they were like, fine, then you want to protect it? Be my guest.
Protect it from us,
And then shot it, and then they won. And the thing was, though, in winning, I then understood, holy crap, I can actually run hordes.
Yeah.
So then I tried one with you guys, actually. And if you try and think real hard,
The zombie one,
yeah,
which Arthur just
Turned
undead.
yeah. And then I'm like, I can't do it then.
No,
And then
zombies.
there was another one, which were the skeletons. When you had to get the
Mike, it's fine.
the Vorpal blade.
Did Arthur then just turn undead, or?
No, we just went ethereal.
Yeah. Oh.
No. They did fight.
Yeah.
They fought it because Arthur's like, I don't want to always do it. I do want to actually get some combat in. And then they went ethereal after to get out of the like falling building and stuff.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, you're too high levels for like real threatening hordes. And then I realized I'm like, okay, I'm gonna dabble in one and see how it goes, and that was a session where I put the new drow in, like the upgraded one, the one that give you a challenge. Yeah.
There's a difference between a horde and a lot of very strong characters.
Yeah.
No.
The horde is meant to be.
No, those horde, like the drow, right? I'm like, okay, hopefully these guys give him a bit more of a fight than the old ones did, and you'll probably still maul through them because of how much you mauled through other things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these guys just have a teleporting ability. So if I chuck in like, 8 of these guys, and then a few of the like challenge rating bloody 13 health, it should be fine. So I didn't start off with a massive horde though at the start. I'm like, I'm going to test the waters and say a few come into the Colosseum. And then when they get out of the town, that's when there's a horde.
Yeah.
And bro, I was like, I am putting you down with like 3 of these things.
Yeah. We were also just finished we were at a tournament, weren't we?
Yeah, but the tournament hadn't really started much of the fight. Like your fight started, but I made sure I wasn't too far into it where a lot of spells have been used and
I
stuff
think
like that.
the other thing as well was that we were very spread out.
Yeah.
And so you dumped these drow on us that were higher power, and so it became a scramble for that squishy just went down and is about to be killed. So we're not trying to fight these guys, we're trying to move past them and get to them to save them. So it was from the start, it wasn't a horde battle, it was a get everyone out safe battle.
Yeah. Well, no, that was like where I was starting, was like you get in there, it's like you kill these ones, and then you go, okay, we have to go in the city. The city's getting attacked, and then you go do like a horde thing there, which you had already done before anyway. You have technically had a horde battle, in Volin the first time. Rob died.
Fighting Medusa.
No, but that was a raid.
Wasn't.
That was a massive horde battle where you went from one part of the town to another, and there were heaps of drow. There was just one Medusa.
I vaguely remember when we were doing that session, we basically walked into this one part of the map, and there was 4 of them. And we're like, okay, so we killed the 4 of them, and then we moved into the next part, and there was 6 of them, and so we killed the 6 of them, and then the Nilfishnay came out, and so we killed the Nilfishnay. But there was never 12 enemies on the board that are all weaker than us.
It was meant to be a wave.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't have enough minis.
Yeah.
To represent all drow, and you know how I get.
So I feel like that's how you have to do hordes though. It has to be those characters that either they're just going to get taken out by a fireball, but it means that they have one less fireball for the big bad that's in that fight, or they then have to cleave through them all to get through there while saving.
Well, yeah. Well, a little thing you might have not known as well is that the Grazza fight was meant to be a horde.
Meant to be.
Yeah. And I realized something. I'm like, nah, if I put a horde here, they're dead.
Yeah.
They're so dead. Actual economy's just not on your side. Now I think about it, I'm like, I actually could have just put a horde in there.
Yeah, so the thing with hordes is you're meant to just cleave through the horde, and it's meant to not really do a stupid amount to the party. If you can't kill them fast enough, they then swarm you, and that's where they're dangerous.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Sturges.
Because, yeah.
If they were going against a high level party, and you just drop 20 of them.
Because the horde was meant to be nothing but the first rounds you encountered in the campaign.
Yeah. So you just use those first rounds and go, okay.
But
there's
I
35 of them.
also thought of it as in man,
Yeah.
if I put that in there, the action economy is either going to be really, really long fight, or the action economy says I accidentally make it outdo you by too much.
I think the other thing you can do with it as well is give us a lot of distance. So you...
I did. I gave you guys a shit ton of distance.
No, but so what you do is you have the horde coming in, and there's 40 of those drows, the really weak ones.
Mm-hmm.
But they're 140 feet away.
Yeah. It's exactly what I said
like,
when
okay,
they
cool.
did the 300
So-
strat.
Yeah.
Because what happened was, like, they were coming, and he's like pushed himself into that thing, and he goes, "Okay, what are you?" And I'm like, "What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna twin cast telekinesis,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put like the other half of these, like the split roof, in a way that it forks them to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, that'll work."
Yeah. But like then you've got the option of like Bang then pulls out his dual pistols and takes down 2 around as they're moving 30 foot towards us.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stop you there because we actually got this special ability of that sword. All right. So
the clock one.
not the clock one
No,
of the
sword.
blood charge. That special ability is that after successful melee attack as a bonus action, you can drain this weapon's blood charges into the target, doing 10
10d10?
d10 non-magical. Oh, so that's one for each charge. It's a d10. Non-magical necrotic.
Dude, what's just stopping me from murder hoboing a town?
This there is no saving throw against it. If their melee attack was a crit, the crit effect transfers to the ability damage. 46 strength plus strength plus 20 d20s for the ability.
Basically, if you crit it, you also double the charge's damage.
Yeah.
But like, what stops me just like, going into a town, like a very small village?
Down the bottom, it's got the weapon's ability is 1 use. 1 time use, apparently.
No, it's to build the charges.
Yeah, no, like apparently the ability itself is a 1-time thing.
When you say 1-time use, do you mean for your weapon? Do you mean like you could only ever use it once, or is it like once per day, or once until next dawn?
Week, like
Yeah.
There needs to be something on there that stops murder hoboing.
Yeah,
Like 100%. I could just go into a quiet ass town, like a little village or like a little campsite of travelers, kill 5 people, get half my charges ready for the next big combat.
The way that I would yeah, Jacob, we're just gonna do a weapon analysis here, like we did with a character, and Jordan can also help here. The way I would change that up just a little bit, because no murder hoboing stuff, it'd be once per day you get a charge, and then once per day, and also like what is it? I think the once per day, like you only gain a charge.
What was the name of the weapon again?
I don't think we actually got a name for this weapon.
I would straight up make it that, because it was all about like blood something, right? Like blood charges, all that. I would make it that you have to take a D10 for every D10 you're going to put into it onto them.
No, see, I've got an idea. Keep it pretty much exactly as it is, but change it from hold on, let me read it to figure out exactly the wording used. Because it's 1 per killing blow, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Make it 1 per hit on the same target.
So if they die, you can't get more charges that day.
No, if they die and you start fighting something else, you start your charges again. So it means that you use this against the big bad, you have to hit them 10 times, and then you get that massive strike where you deal, like, even just make it 20d10.
Yeah. Well,
So it's because the weapon is
blood blast,
their
great
blood,
sword.
It's like
and
making
using it
momentum
against them.
Yeah.
Bloodbath greatsword. I can be used. It can be used multiple times, but as I plan to use it to kill my own character, the weapon would be broken along with the soul's wielder. Oh, okay. So you think it's too OP? So you're planning on ending your character to end the sword, so that way not another player could take it. I think that's what you're getting at. That's fair.
I feel like you could just make it a sword that you could use. You just need to tighten the restrictions on it, and then you're fine.
She just gave me a mad idea for a sword as well, which sounds awesome, by the way. Yeah, you just gave me a mad idea. So, what I think would be mad as a weapon is it starts off as like a dagger, right? It's got a great sword's hilt, but it starts off as a dagger for the blade. And and then for each person you kill, it grows into a greatsword. But the moment it gets into the greatsword, that's when it uses its charges again. And then it goes back to a dagger. So that means it has those like dice.
You still have the same problem of just murder hoboing through something to get the big thing.
Yeah, I get it. But
just use a different weapon.
But here's the thing, right? The one thing is, it's like you say the murder hoboing part, but like
not everyone will do it.
No, but also another thing is too is like when you give it to a player, you generally think about the player you're giving this weapon to, and then you also just remember, hey, I'm the DM. I'm just going to throw something at you that you can't murder hobo, and you don't have all your charges.
But it's also like a honor killing blow thing. So if you end up like, let's say you give
it is a killing
Delvin,
blow.
He's never going to get any charges.
Yeah, you give it to Cat though.
Cat just steals all the kills, and so she gets all the killing blows. Or if you give it to Cat, then she's just an absolute fucking weapon and can never die because she just hides, comes in, gets the killing blow, and then she's like, "I've got this god weapon now." Walks in the first.
By the way,
combat and kills them.
I basically made the gravity hammer in D&D.
The what?
The gravity hammer from like Halo.
Yeah.
I basically made that in D&D. I made it really fair and just like a really unique weapon. So it has 4 charges a day, and it regains its charges next dawn, but you have to roll a d4. When it runs out of charges, you have to roll a d20, and on a natural 1, the weapon actually shatters.
So it's every star of X in the game.
So the reason why is because if you expend a charge, so you roll a hit, on hit you can expend a charge, and if you expend the charge, you push the target back 20 feet. Oh no, 10 feet. It was 10 feet. I changed it back to 10 feet because I realized 20 feet could be too busted. So yeah, 10 feet. So if you like basically hit them and push them into a wall, that's like an extra d10 of like being forced into a wall.
I don't even think that's so broken that
I'm not saying it's broken.
Oh no. It destroys itself. Does it do that in Halo?
Yeah. For the destroy itself, I've got a better idea. I think it should be, and you can choose to make it as an attack or as a bonus action, whatever. You bring it down into the ground, because it's a gravity one, right? It's a seismic quake. So when it hits on the ground, all enemies within a certain range have to make a
saving throw,
dex save, or whatever it is. Yeah. If not, they're not prone. So if you have a swarm around you,
well, that's the point.
Then gives your party the chance to sort of come back.
Well, that's the other point, is because the other way that I was doing it, because I did think of that, but the other way I'm doing it with on hit, you knock them, is because you get to pick directional. You also, not only that, you get to that swarming thing. Hitting one person and getting them out of the way is literally just getting rid of advantage for next turn. And I know there's the whole knocking prone, but then you give a bigger chance of like 2 people just getting up and just they're already at you instead of getting the attention of somebody else. It allows you to be more creative in the things you get to do with the weapon. It's like, because you have enough power to like literally push someone 10 feet. If you're trying to smack a door and you say I'm activating a charge, that's like, I would add that as extra pressure that you're putting to whatever you're hitting. And because what you're describing is like it's like earthquake. I think it's the spell earthquake.
Oh, earth tremor.
Earth tremor. Yeah, that's it. Because that has a 5-foot radius, doesn't it, around the person?
It might even be 10 foot.
Yeah.
It's the one that Arthur used.
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's okay. But the fact that you get
5 foot dive.
Yeah, 5 foot dive. It's like with the pushing back of 10 feet, you can knock someone off a cliff.
So 5 foot is the difficult terrain thing. It is 10 foot.
Okay, 10 foot. But this says that you get to pick someone. You could literally like take a rock, hit it, and say I'm expending a charge. and you launch a rock.
I don't think a lot of people think of it that way.
Yeah.
They might do like the door thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't
It's
understand
like
why it breaks itself though.
Huh?
It doesn't even seem like that overpowered of an effect.
Oh, it's not. It just says I might not have to deal with it forever, so it's fine. Like that's literally it. It's me going, okay. And I do like the idea of the more it breaks itself type thing idea. And the only reason I'm enjoying that idea right now is because it says, hey, let's change it up.
Yeah.
Like, get a new weapon.
Well,
Doesn't have to be as strong.
Along that vein, I watched I think it was a TikTok come up, and they were talking about how spell slots work in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems weird that, you just can't do magic anymore once you've used up your spell slots, right? So the way that they were running it was your spell slots are the number of times you can cast the spell safely. So you can cast the spell after you're out of spell slots, but there's like complications.
Yeah.
The way it kind of just sounds like that.
The way I just view it is like mana.
Yeah, but like it kind of sounds like that is what I'm kind of getting at. So I don't 100% like that.
Oh, it's literally not in your world, and everything. Remember, everything I say now it can be changed within a minute.
Of course.
Yeah, I might give it to someone, and it might be like I called it the gravity hammer, and I just told you what it does.
Yeah.
But then I might just change exactly everything.
That's my point. Like you're telling us about this weapon, so I'll give you feedback.
Yeah, no, I accept the feedback.
Yeah.
And I told you what
like
the feedback is.
It's like
yeah. Also, there's
if you want to break a weapon badly enough, like have an enemy come in and be like, okay, I just saw what you did with that thing, and have them target the weapon. Right?
Yeah. One thing that I do want to talk about, we can talk about on next time we go, shooting off into a different tangent next episode because it's getting pretty late, and I think we should start wrapping this up. But is the way I do spell slots and the reason why I like it.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I think the way I do our spell slots is pretty fair.
I enjoy it.
I wouldn't know. I don't play casters.
You are playing a half caster now.
No, Jordan. Smite doesn't count as a half caster. You just do lay on hands.
No,
once as an attack.
but no,
but you've only got first level spell slot.
No, but when you
I'm just rephrasing what was said before.
No, but Jordan, you don't realize that you can combine 2 first level slots to make a second level slot and use second level smite.
Hey Blake, I've never had the option.
In my defense,
because you only ever had 3 slots to begin with.
And even when I played the sorcerer, I never actually ran out of slots.
Because I play a melee character, I thought that was a sorcerer thing.
No.
I don't bother knowing.
It is a sorcerer thing because you crush the sorcery points into spell slots and then you get extra spells.
Yeah, mine is that. Yeah, anyway, we'll talk about it next time. Alrighty. But anyway, Jordan and Jacob, I will let you guys end the podcast in the way that you want to. Goodbye, everyone.
So we're going to start talking about Flesh and Blood now.
Wednesday group best fruit. That's what I'm saying. Can't wait for the whatever you called it, Wednesday vs Friday. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us on the Technical Difficulties podcast. Thank you to Jordan for being here with me today.
No walkers, man.
And thanks to all of you for your comments in chat, for engaging with us and giving us additional things to get distracted by.
It was cool. Yeah.
Look, I always love being distracted in these things. It takes us off on a tangent that we weren't already working towards, and so it throws a wrench in our plans.
I also like to thank Blake for bullying me. It's great.
Hooray! Bullying Jordan's fun. You can catch us Mondays 8:30 for the podcast, Wednesdays 8:30 for Jordan's group,
Wednesday group best group,
or Friday 8:30 for my own group. We have extra projects coming up all the time. Blake makes his own building videos. I'm working towards making a character building
you can
series.
Watch Rob's stream on M_Blazer. He streamed today for the first time, I think. So
yes, it was today, yeah.
He's going to start doing, I think it was Thursday nights.
I'm not 100%.
He mentioned a night, I can't remember. He's going to be doing them soon, so make sure you check that out as well. I'm pretty sure there's a link here somewhere.
Yeah, there's links in chat to it.
Yep.
Dylan also has a stream at the Chosen Dolan. He hasn't been doing it at the moment just because of personal stuff, but he's going to be getting back to it as soon as he feels comfortable.
I will eventually start a stream, I promise. We've been mentioning it for weeks. I will be moving houses in a couple of weeks as well, so once we get all that set up, hopefully we can be a bit closer towards it. I've actually mentioned what the stream is about, so I'll let you guys know now as a bit of a teaser. Basically, we're going to be playing games that I have never played before. So it can be a new game, it can be an old game, as long as I've never played it. It's up to the people that watch what game I play next. So you could decide to make me shit myself by playing a scary game.
Oh, he's really bad at scary games. I've got stories.
Yeah. You can infuriate me by playing My Little Pony something. You can make me play, a game that's really hard and watch me rage quit. There's a bunch of stuff, but the point of the game is that I need to play it until it's done.
Until it's finished,
not 100%, but
okay.
Story mode complete.
Okay.
So the first two games we've got ready at the moment are The Quarry and Elden Ring.
Yep.
Haven't decided which one we're starting with. Let's have a laugh. But after that as well, we'll also be putting it up to the audience on what they would like to see me play. So
awesome.
100% up to you guys. If you guys want to see me shit myself, we can do that. If you want to see me get really angry and rage quit, if you want to bore me to death, we can do that. But the idea is that it's games that I haven't played before that you guys are recommending, so you get the first-hand experience of someone playing that game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll catch you. Our next stream will be Wednesday. You'll be meeting up with Jordan again. Until then,
Lannis.
bye.
I'm reading, so you're still.
God damn.
We're apparently still live. We're waiting for the raid.
I'll just wait for you
Yeah.
to do the proper timeout, guys. It's all good. Fucking just keep going.
It's alright. Oh, I didn't know we were going to.
Yeah, well, we
We were on our way.
When did we do the stream, Jacob?
8:30 for all three of them.
Again.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're getting there. I'm sure I'll get cut off.